getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars, crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, hearts full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop up. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me?
Do I just give the gift that keeps on giving? I mean, do I don't want to do it. I didn't mean to do it, but you know, I'm feeling festive today. How about y'all?
Whose birthday is it?
It was mine yesterday.
Ah, sorry, Wolf.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I've turned 36, everybody. And I could not be no happier than this.
Just one, only one word to say about that, man. Happy birthday, dude.
Indeed. Happy birthday, Wolf.
I'm one of the few ghetto motherfuckers that live to be 36. Most of us don't live to be 28, let alone 22. Thank you, everybody.
Happy birthday.
Now for something totally out of control.
This video is going to let you hear the sound of the Tokay lizard, also known as the fuck you lizard, which I met.
Ah, yes, the dog toy lizard.
Good evening, UN Spacey Wolf Squad. I'm your Wolf Commander Wolf 10. I'm your werewolf. Tonight we're doing the very merry after party. Very merry after party to you. After birthday. My birthday was yesterday, everybody. So we're celebrating today since I'm off today. And today it's an open topic stream today.
Hooray!
coupled with a Q&A and a topic request from the audience themselves. So while we're talking shit, you guys can suggest a topic. Or you can ask some personal questions about us. Pay no attention to my wife coughing in the background, by the way. I'm here tonight to just chill and relax with the Bear of the North, Eloise.
Greetings,
Good view.
everyone. Sorry, the audio kind of lapsed, so I don't know if you finished.
Technical difficulties is always a common occurrence in our group, of course. Paired with her is our designated Smurfette principal and our lady of antiquity and debonair in class and always mentoring these young girls. The lovely Lady Valor, plus size.
Wolf, you are so kind. Good evening, everyone. This is Leia Plus Size, your Leia Valor. Welcome to Wolf's birthday fun stream. So I am absolutely sure from that beginning music that this should be a very fun show. I myself cannot wait to see what we have in store. Yes, Jacko, I made it. I was at a theater tonight arranging some things, so that's why I was a little late coming in. I didn't get out to 10:30.
You weren't late. We just barely begun. We also have.
All right. Sound like, especially with that song.
We also have our second Smurfette principal, Humble Marty.
Hi.
We're working on her catchphrase as we speak. Sitting next door to her is the Warrior of Light, Final Fantasy Fan 12.
Greetings YouTube viewers and fellow Final Fantasy fans. This is Final Fantasy Fan 12 and welcome back to another live stream of the UN Spacey Wolf Squadron. And today we are having another chill stream, which is pretty much a Q&A stream on Wolf10 Media's birthday, even though his birthday was yesterday, but we do like to celebrate it now. But what better way than to just say, happy birthday, dude.
Thank you. Sitting underneath him is the Hound of the South, Dominic Powell.
Good evening, YouTubers and fellow members of the Wolf. Excuse me, and fellow members of this crew. And this is the Hound of the South, Dominic Powell. And since today's a chill stream, we're going to be talking about a variety of topics in addition to celebrating Wolf's 36th birthday.
Crickets. Crickets.
Sorry, guys,
Crickets.
I'm playing Smite right now, so
Crickets.
Who are you?
Crickets.
Are you? Wolf, are you asking us or are you asking your fellow followers?
Our
Or
fellow followers.
Okay. I will not say anything.
I'm so confused right now.
Jeez.
Well, they
man.
are honorary faithful bitches, okay?
Oh, goodness gracious.
I don't think your
What about-
followers
what about
appreciate that.
Well, what about topics that each of us have discussed to go over it during the green room session?
It's my birthday yesterday. I get to show my ass today, damn it.
Oh my God.
I get to play
I
Bad
am
Boss today.
surprised with the screenshots you use on YouTube. I am surprised you don't have more people. My lord, you do not have more people. When I came home and saw that screenshot, I thought, why does Wolf not have more followers?
I asked that question myself.
Maybe we weirded out YouTube.
I think YouTube is. I
Mhm.
think YouTube just say he's harmless. Let him have his fun until he actually does something really, really stupid that we can actually get him on.
Or what
Which
they,
ain't never
or
gonna
what,
happen.
or what
I
they
was
consider
told.
stupid.
Yeah. Because, I mean, when you say that Wolf10 Media might have weirded out YouTube, I mean, is that not what Ishii would have done? Is that not what Ishii did?
I
Well,
decided to
well,
play
Ishiro,
today.
well, Ishiro, Cat, Wilson, Janelle, have known to be politically incorrect, and so far, And so far, Ishmael's main channel, as well as Warcraft podcast YouTube channel, haven't been nuked by
No,
them.
the problem with Ishi's channel is that YouTube really wants them to monetize so that they can make them suffer. But Ishi doesn't want to monetize his channel, so YouTube automatically just unranks the video
Yeah.
because
That is
they're
being very
not
pitiful.
relying on YouTube for monetization purposes.
Well, I
And
found
No,
out,
they're
It's
not.
their own fucking money. They don't even need
I-
YouTube's money.
I found out what happens when they demonetize a monetized channel.
I've seen it too.
Yeah, Metatron decided, screw that, I am going to cuss.
I thought some of the woke nuts would be here typing in how, oh, you sexualized, you monster, oh, how dare you, clutching their
After all this
pearls
tea
and
and
having a
booty,
heart attack.
I'm surprised I
dare
haven't
you,
got that
Soda?
action lately. I mean, the roundtable discussion
Yeah, I
got
thought
booty.
for sure.
The Saturday chill
Yeah.
got booty. Sunday weekend stream got booty. Elevator pitch fancy got booty.
Oh my God.
Open topic night that got a whole lot of booty and titty. Putting together ideas that's just
Yeah,
packs
that's
and titty.
Let's just be honest, YouTube is just very chicken shit with everything.
Debugging the male
Well-
gaze that got a little bit of cleavage. Friday chill that's got booty. Wait, that's got titty. My
What
bad.
the-
Winged stream that
Final,
still got titty.
Considering like who's in charge of YouTube. YouTube, like they want to censorship further by making the website like super politically correct, even though it has driven a lot of people away.
Fun Talk got abs, titties, 2 abs and 2 titties. Abs, titties, 2 abs, 2 titties.
Wolf, do
Abs,
not start.
Titties,
Oh
abs,
man.
titties, abs and titties, abs and titties. I said abs, not
Oh,
abs.
no, my God.
You slipped an
Wait.
S in there.
Winging It has cowboy titties. What's so wrong with sex pill? Got titty and ass, titties, 2 ass, 4 titties. Ass, titties, 2 ass, 4 titties.
Okay.
All
I
this
thought
stuff
for
I'm
sure at
beating them
some
on,
point, every
and
time I
not
see
one
them,
of
like,
these fucking
somebody's gonna
cowards
type-
is stepping in this motherfucker to try to say some shit. I'm surprised. I was ready to bite somebody in the ass.
Yeah, I thought for
Oh,
sure he
well.
would get. I
I'm
thought
just
somebody for
debating this
sure was going to
motherfucker.
write, "Oh, you have to take down this Wolfton Media with this
Bill
toxic,
Sunday's
feminine,
got
toxic masculinity. Look how he's treating women. How dare he show?"
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Chill Sundays have
With
cat
all the
ass on
proclamations
display too,
of
with a
quote-unquote
monster in between.
toxic masculinity, why don't they talk about toxic? Why don't they talk about toxic femininity?
Because they won't.
And because it's a lot like toxic. Because it's basically gonna show that toxins come in both ways.
Exactly.
I got 2 people watching. Let us
Well, you
know,
have-
let them know that we
yeah, you
streaming,
have-
guys.
toxic.
Let's talk about something more festive than the usual.
Well, I was thinking. Before we went live, I suggested a topic where we discuss and roast an article from CBR.
Oh yeah, it is 10
Okay, I
comics
came in
that
late. What was
didn't
the
age
discussion?
well. It was said to be 10 modern comic books that have
Take over.
aged poorly.
The books they put down on the list is laughable, and Wes and Doc of the Thinking Critical channel already given their 2 cents on the article. So why not we give ours as we go over the books they put down on this list.
It is rare for a reader to come across a comic book story that truly feels timeless. That does not always detract from the story's quality in terms of it being good or bad, but a moment
Wolf, you're
that
not sharing the
seems to have
screen.
Do I have to?
Visual aids help, man.
Fine.
I saw the video. I think somebody put a video out on this article. I think I Well, please continue.
And
I
that'll
couldn't
be-
remember every. I did watch
that'll
some
be
of it
think-
because I was dreading,
and
like,
that'll
oh God, what did they pick?
and that'll be thinking critical. You know, wasn't Doc like talked about this article from CBR?
And it's the comics that are listed here is mostly just a bunch of
We
comics
start-
from the 2000s to the 2010s.
The hell
It's
is
rare to
DVD?
find a
Okay, would you like to count them
it's rare
down,
for a
or-
reader to come across a comic book story that feels truly timeless. That does not detract from the story's quality of it being good or bad, but a moment that seems to have aged poorly can go a long way in overshadowing the rest of the story, and point the story to itself feels like a moot point. I wonder how long before they complain about butts.
Moments and sometimes entire stories may age poorly due to the change of political climate, the way history has changed to overshadow the moment, or the moment was simply so bad with modern eyes. How many times are they going to say fucking moment in modern?
Again,
More than
using
they
that
did
word.
during an
I don't think it means
initial
what you
I'm
think it
tired of
means.
hearing the phrase political.
As such, stories don't.
I'm tired of
Do
hearing
we
them
need
say
to-
political atmosphere.
You know, should I kidnap Janelle for this one? I feel like this is a Janelle thing.
She
maybe we
might
have
be
it's not just-
busy trying to
come
take
on,
care of her
it's-
son.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going. Captain America Steve Rogers aged poorly as soon as it dropped. Hell Hydra.
Oh,
First issue
yeah.
of Captain America Steve Rogers by Nick Spencer and Jesus
Oh, please.
Sayers suffered
Okay.
controversy the moment it hit shelves, all because of its final panel showcasing a suddenly turned cold Rogers other than the words Hell Hydra, as revealed as having been a sleeper agent this whole time.
Oh,
Makers
Tony
dismissed the
Casey
term as a
quotes are
nonsense.
on.
The-
Yeah.
It was
I mean, it's off to a
was
good start so far.
it was done on a
I
light
didn't
note.
like it.
Oh, though,
Is
because
this
like,
the one with the?
because
Is
it-
this
it
the
like-
one with Tahishi Coates?
Yeah.
no,
Yep.
this one is done by Nick Spencer.
Oh,
like,
Nick
his-
Spencer. Okay,
his-
totally
his
different guy.
Captain America Run series.
Yeah, it was the
I still didn't like the
20.
idea.
It was like the
ahead.
2014 or I forgot which year it was. It was somewhere in the mid to late 2010s with the Secret Empire because it was named after the 1974 Secret
original.
Empire. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still never liked it because I felt at that was the beginning of Marvel Comics deconstructing
Y'all
of
sure
Steve
y'all want me to
Rogers,
share
and I
my
was
damn
never a
screen?
fan.
Because
Of
I
it.
just
Oh no, that started ever since Joe Quesada and Brian Michael Bendis were taking over Marvel since the 2000s. And that
Mhm.
started pretty much since they started with Spider-Man with One More Day, and then they
Well,
just basically
Since
ruined the
Past.
entire. No, Since Past was it really started since One More Day, because of their unwillingness to let Spider-Man be happy. The entire
there's not
Marvel
just-
universe just went downhill ever since.
Well,
And
it's
some
not just one more
House of
day,
M.
but also
Because that changed the entire Marvel universe for the worst.
and Avengers Disassemble like didn't do the Avengers any favors either.
Nope. Because that's when Marvel started to go downhill. Was
Yes,
ever
I
since the
agree.
year 2000 when Joe Quesada
Yeah.
and Brian Michael Bendis took over Marvel. I mean, hey, Brian Reed's run on Miss Marvel is pretty good, but still,
Yeah.
but yet that's already overshadowed by most of the other runs that are not really good. Civil
Neither.
War has its fans, but even then it has so much problems, which I will actually talk about when I talk about that story with Ultimate Alliance 2. Secret Empire, the Ultimate Marvel Universe, And so
speaking
on.
of which, we're actually on to number 9. Now, which concerns the Ultimate Marvel Universe. In this case, the Ultimates.
and it's particularly how they say that patriotism is presented in the worst way, in this case of Ultimate Captain America.
In the current state of social injustice?
Yet, if you really read Ultimates by Mark Miller
Sorry.
and Ultimates too, like those two books like didn't age poorly. They're still timeless, and the whole thing.
I seriously don't know why I'm getting ads of Underworld that makes your dick feel comfortable now. But there it is.
What did you search up,
and-
bro?
I didn't search up anything. It's right there in the damn CBR article. as an
It's
ad.
in the ads.
Oh yeah,
Comic book resources
they're
is being
desperate.
sponsored by Undies with a hot dog pocket.
Yep.
Hot pocket for dogs.
Yep.
Anyways, I mean, Captain America in the Ultimate Marvel universe, he did not like represent like quote unquote the
Guess
worst
I'm gonna
kind
be putting these guys
of
to good
patriotism.
use.
Yeah. It's-
Oh,
There's
come
no-
on,
like, there's
Wolf.
only-
Be watchful, CBR.
Yeah, that's the reason.
Because
That's
you're
the reason
perfect
they
comics
put
get
number-
right.
The reason. Well, the reason the CBR put like the Ultimates on number 9 is because of Steve in that series like poking fun at France,
Does this A stands for France?
which is not it does not represent the worst kind of patriotism as they want to proclaim. Like heck,
I
heck,
get
like,
what
even-
you're
like,
saying,
even the-
Dom. I go ahead.
like heck, even French people like poke fun at themselves, and it's not out of malicious intent.
But this was malicious.
Just to answer Draco's question on what did House of M even do except do a mutant purge? It changed the Marvel universe forever, for the worst.
Well, the first mutant purge that happened was the genocide of Genosha during the first story arc in Grant Morrison's like X-Men run, E for Extinction. And that was done by another mutant, Charles Xavier's sister, not a human.
And,
Yeah,
oh
okay,
yeah,
but
and- sorry, Leia.
no, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm just good. Maybe I was going back to the Captain America story. I do see your point. Maybe I'm jumping it too soon, but I just felt like that was just the beginning of tearing him down and represent who he is and what he's all about.
Ultimates
For
had
that
already
one.
been doing that. Because
Yeah,
they're
like
just
you
trying to
see,
do this just to sound edgy. Just by doing this, like, what if all the Marvel heroes and villains were just born now? Because they've done this to Spider-Man, why not everybody?
The old
And
thing
oh yeah, the
that-
Batman wedding thing. No. Just no.
Yes. Okay, so as for number 7, this one concerns Identity Crisis, which
One
again,
of the
like, if
worst
CBR
DC stories.
Yeah, like if CBR like did their research, which was like not a lot of people really lauded Identity Crisis with praise. There's like people to this day people didn't like that, and also I wish they stopped using the term women refrigerators, because that has aged poorly, and it was done by Gail Simone.
Didn't Gail Simone actually do a woman in refrigerators part of her story
It was
herself?
It was a website. Actually, yeah, she might have.
I would have thought
She might
the
have.
moments that would have aged poorly was when they had all the characters eating some sort of food, and it wasn't related to the plot.
Well, that's an example of a very pervasive trope that has been rearing its ugly head in fiction.
oh, that one was just stupid. The Jared Foe, the subway
Oh yeah.
pervert. In a
Yeah,
comic strip. Whose
that was
idea?
very stupid.
Whose idea? Who greenlit that? I was like, get out of here.
Jared Falco
They
himself.
literally did a subway pervert for
They
a main
did.
character.
They did.
Yes.
Yeah. What?
That's
Let's
not-
briefly go back to Identity Crisis, and like how the term women in refrigerators age poorly. Like if a character's loved one is in trouble, or they lose a loved one, it motivates the characters to not only avenge them, but to make sure like nobody nobody loses a loved one like they had, and it happens to both men and women, not just one specific gender.
Well, yeah, look up the murder mysteries, or like in this case, a good example off the top of my head, it would be the TV series Bones, because it's a bunch of cold cases, and they make sure the bodies are as unidentifiable as possible. One of them
Yeah.
was basically dismembered meatsicles.
Oh yeah, Identity Crisis, where Dr. Like became Dr. Rape, and literally the worst decisions made in DC Comics, where Jean Lauren was sent to Arkham Asylum of all places,
What?
and that story was, and get this, the story is a follow-up to Countdown, and it's another terrible DC story.
Yeah, Identity Crisis and Countdown like did a lot of characters dirty.
Wow,
Mhm.
talk
Right,
about
and
bad follow worse. How do you do them dirty? Let's drag them through the mud.
Oh yeah, this is talking more about Frank Miller's Batman right here because of Dark Knight Returns. From
Yeah,
that image above, because that's clearly, it should be Frank Miller's art, because I know that, because those scraggly lines, the ugly as hell art style.
yet to say this one has aged poorly. It hasn't really. It didn't really like it go. It doesn't really have that 10-year mark to really actually say this new Dark Knight Returns from Frank Miller has aged poorly. It's fairly recent.
That was fairly. What's the Do they have another topic? Another one that was there? I know they didn't like the marriage of Catwoman and Batman, which on paper sounds interesting, but it's the people who write it that make it.
Yeah, and apparently Joker being the best man at the wedding out of
Oh,
everyone.
Yeah,
Oh.
that was just. I don't know who. Somebody just wasn't thinking with logic. The writer, whoever came up with that story, just
Because they're trying way too hard to be fucking serious, even though it's fuck you, Tom King.
They're trying to be
Yeah.
serious, and they invited Joker to be the best man at a wedding.
of his worst
Fuck you,
enemy.
Tom
I
King.
just don't get it.
Fuck
Yeah,
you.
that's the last thing Batman would allow with the Joker to be at the wedding. That was just.
Joker is the
Like you
type
said,
of guy who would
I don't
send
understand why they keep pushing this whole love relationship between him and Joker all of a sudden. It seems
Because I think
like
trying
they
to-
cannot function without each other.
They're trying to appeal to the Yaoi fangirls.
And
Well,
I
as
also
for-
think. I'm sorry, and I also think that they just think they have this obsession that Joker is this. Again, we fall into. I'm not going to stay on it, but I just think they think he's more of a victim and misunderstood, and that's why
When
they want
he
to put him up
isn't.
into this weird. Yeah,
I think
he's not.
you know
You're
what
right.
I
I agree with you.
you know what I think is happening. It's that ever since what's that called, that movie came out, The Joker.
Mhm.
What was it called again?
You got it right, Joker. Mhm.
Phoenix Queen's Joker. Well, I know the character.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah,
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 Joaquin
Joaquin
Phoenix's Joker.
Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah, that one.
Mm-hmm.
No, that didn't start there. That happened with I think it was Azzarello's Joker. That story was fucking terrible.
Joker is not a hero. He is a psychopathic killer. He is not a hero. He is someone you don't want to be or meet or be with.
Yeah.
And they're not
He's
understanding.
not a
that.
fallen angel.
Right.
No,
Brilliant
what
star
Joker
that
is
shines
a
through the
cautionary tale.
Like, okay,
night.
here's the thing about villains.
Giving
Villains-
man stands before you. Sorry.
Right. Here's
You
the thing
gotta
about
put some
villains.
power into that, humble. The brilliant star that shines through the night. The gift that keeps on giving. Rise, our man stands before you. And you gotta do the thing song. Rise, chop. Rise, kick. What?
Here's the thing about villains. And while villains are useful because they are cautionary tales in different ways. Elemental villains who are by their very nature evil, whether evil at heart or at nature, they are evil to their core. They warn us that evil is out there, even in the most unlikely of places. Fallen villains warn us what not to do when you respond to a tragedy. That's a useful part about villains.
Jesus, this is the most we got. You guys usually.
Now number
You guys are
number 3 from this.
busy talking.
Num-
Y'all
number
supposed to be
3 from
suggesting
the-
topics. Damn it!
Well, number
What
3
did
of the
you
Getting
was
Q&A.
Ex Machina.
It's supposed to be a Q&A. Ask your questions, even the personal ones. We're gonna get some juice out of this today.
Okay, we will finish this up, and then if you want to go to Q&A, are we asking questions for? Are the questions for you, Wolf? Since you're the birthday boy.
No, it's for the panel itself, not just
Oh,
me.
okay. Well, when we finish, we will open the door, and whoever's out there can.
Oh no,
put
no,
up
they
the
can
questions.
ask their questions. We're gonna pick them. We're gonna be looking through them.
Okay. But
Y'all
you know,
need to hurry this shit up right now. Damn it, we ain't staying on this for damn near 50 minutes.
Early in the series suggested.
Ex Machina, who gives a crap about that?
Well, wait, hold on. You
Moving on,
read
then.
Ex Machina too?
Ultimatum was ultimately a mistake.
That I would say that's the entirety of the Ultimate Marvel Universe.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
what
get
else?
to it, motherfucker. Hold your damn horses.
What else? What also didn't help Ultimatum is they hired Jeff Loeb, who's still grieving the loss of his son Sam after he lost his battle with bone cancer.
Yeah.
This trips me out. Enraged at the death of his children, Magneto sought out to wipe out the human race. The first issue alone went out of its way to kill off major characters in some of the most shocking ways, including the infamous panel where the Blob ate the Wasp, only for her husband Hank Pym to grow into a giant and bit off Bob's head and spit it out.
Ew.
And this one.
Wanda
And this is in the
DHS.
Ultimate Universe.
what, that's just nasty.
Siscon!
Isn't that her brother?
Ding ding ding
Isn't
ding
that
ding.
her-
Yep, but they did it anyway
Oh
because
my
Edge.
lord!
Sweet home Alabama.
Whoever thought
That
this stop fucking laughing.
I can't. There you go.
Whoever
What
thought
did
that
I say?
this
That's just-
was a good idea to put Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch into a relationship in spite of being siblings. Go
Wait,
fuck
they're
yourself.
siblings?
Yes. They're
At this
twins.
time, yes.
They're related. They're brother and sister.
Yeah.
That is sick.
And the joke.
I'll
And the
just laugh at that.
children.
I'll just laugh at that Leia's response. That's just nasty.
Yo, what better way to show that you don't read the comic than to do that?
No, they read the comic. They decided to do that shit because it was shocking.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
this has been the
God.
thing with superhero comics in the 2000s. Sorry, Dom. But I just need to say this now. This is basically where comics just started going off the deep end. They started going downhill since the early 2000s. And while some of them may be good, this is basically where it was almost like the final nail in the coffin. Why? Because they lost the youth market. Or really, the big two just stopped selling comics to children and try to do this just to make it selling for a more quote-unquote mature audience by trying way too freaking hard to be like Watchmen. So that means everyone has to be amoral, everyone has to be edgy, shady, serious, shocking, and everything else in between because of the success of Watchmen, and not to mention thanks to the success from the movie by Zack Snyder.
So they basically did Same Face Syndrome, the Edgelord edition.
You could say that.
They stopped being aspirational and inspirational.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is basically where a lot of people just went. That's when a lot of people went to anime and manga instead for that, because you actually got a lot more inspiration, and as well as a good hefty amount of some dark stuff like Berserk or Attack on Titan stuff. But, and hell, even better, you have different genres. And while not to say that comic books don't even have different genres, they do, is that it's more very dominantly the superhero genre that is the most dominant. But yet other genres of comics are just not even, they don't sell as much as superhero stuff.
But it's not just Eastern storytelling such as manga, anime, and manhwa that we're getting our entertainment. So, but also European comic books as well, through the bond designés.
Mm-hmm.
Because much like manga and manhwa, well, they are very diverse in genres.
Yes, and yet this is something that the progressives like to say that comics are for everybody, but yet they don't even think that's diverse enough, because they think, no, it's identity politics or sexual politics. But no. Well, yes, people do read comics, but in different genres. Why? People like different things.
Mm-hmm. I also like to point out in the number 3 list, the Ex Machina, which is a series done by Wildstorm. Also, to say it was historically inaccurate and flat out wrong, it shows they do that the author who typed up their article and made the list did not, he or she didn't read the series in its entirety, because it's an alternate universe with a different history from ours, focusing on the titular character who acts as this Earth's superhero.
Yeah, want to get to the questions right now?
Yep.
But
I just want to add
again. Last thing I will say is in the future we need to come up with a list here which talks about books that has aged well and remain timeless, as a counter against CBR's like list.
I'm glad I gave Wolf a big belly laugh, but I just don't find
That ain't
incest
no damn
romantic.
belly laugh. That was a ah ha 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 laugh.
Oh, I just don't find incest romances entertaining. So forgive me. And I just thought that was just
I just find them funny the way how they're being portrayed. Half the time, there are a lot of people that try to justify a healthy incestuous romance, and then there's the incest that's tacked in, and then there's the incest that's just downright abusive, which is the better incest because it's evil and it's supposed to be portrayed as evil. You know, it's kind of funny how there's a lot of sex going on in today's media. I just think people need to just watch porn more. Just fuck it. Just watch porn and live out your fantasies. Don't put it in your books. Get it out your system.
Oh, Wolf, you should be having a crowd right now. How do we go from that?
If Michael Jackson was still alive, he would actually make a song like for his new album, which is a sequel to Superfly's Sister.
Name a favorite storytelling trope, why you like it, and the best example of it.
That is for you, Wolf.
That's for all of us.
Okay? Who wants to go first? Name a favorite storytelling trope you like and the best example of it. Okay, favorite storytelling trope. Well, for me, it would have to be the hero's journey. I think that would be my favorite trope, and I think it's been done with.
Not a trope. It's more of a storytelling technique. The tropes would be 5-man band, distressed damsel, scrappy,
the ideal hero, the paragon,
big damn heroes,
the noble demon.
So archetypes.
Archetypes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like those are examples of tropes. Because as Wolf said, the hero's journey is more of a storytelling technique.
Okay. Thanks for clarifying for me. Well, let's see now. If tropes would probably be, I guess, is it the aspirational hero, or the group that has to come together, a call
It
to
can be
action
pretty
to
much
defeat?
any. Yeah, because those
Yeah.
are archetypes.
Okay, I guess I'm not good with tropes. Wow. I keep naming. I'm sorry. I keep naming archetypes
It's
and no
fine.
tropes.
I mean, it's all right because archetypes
Mhm.
are tropes anyway. But
Stop
yet,
it.
but yet
Go
the only
ahead.
reason why, but yet the only reason why they would call it tropes is that, I mean, that's what it is. It's because it works in tandem with archetypes, because the whole point of the archetypes and the tropes is they serve a role in the story. That's the whole thing.
Wolf finalist explaining. How dare you?
And,
Stop.
and so
Ignore.
and yet they put tropes
You
in
gotta
a
be strong, Leia. Ignore the fan service, or at the
Yeah.
very least, don't be easily flustered by it.
yeah. Don't be like
No, I'm just giving
bashful.
her some examples.
Don't be like bashful from the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Oh gosh.
Like that. But more commonly they use tropes in a pretty negative light, as they say that's the most annoying, which not oftentimes it can be. It can get annoying when it's overused a lot, like the shadow archetype for villains.
Okay.
And while
Or-
they can be
I-
useful,
or
but they
the
can
foil.
be, but they're so overdone.
Well, I tell you what, Final, do you want to answer the question first, and maybe you can come back to me? Like it says, what's a favorite trope, and why do you like it? Because I keep naming archetypes, so maybe you guys can give me good
I
examples.
mean, well,
and
you
can get
can
my
use
brain-
archetypes, because I mean that's what they.
The-
Because I mean that's what they are. They are, because yeah, bleh. Tropes and archetypes are pretty much used in tandem with each other. But as for me, I would need to think of one. Because if
see,
you already
the-
have one in mind, I'll let you. Because if you already have one in mind, I'll let you go first. Because I need to think of mine.
Well, see, that's the thing. Those are the stories that I'm drawn to, which is the hero's journey, the aspirational hero, the call that would be like the king, the Arthurian. Ever since I was a kid, it started with the Arthurian legend, the group that has come together to the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship.
Mhm.
You know, coming together, different types of people that have been drawn together to defeat an evil, and along the way they bond. Those kinds of tropes, the aspirational hero, and those are always been the stories that I've always liked, which is the hero that does things good because it's the right thing to do, not just because he wants something in return. There are some stories where someone learns good, and that's a good story as well, but those have always been the types of stories that I have been drawn to. I mean, I've really got to be honest. When I look at my collection, you know, Lord of the Rings, you know, Avengers, King
Sure.
Arthur. Those are the stories that have always drawn me as far as storytelling.
The trope you're talking about seems to be the knight in shining armor.
Right? Yeah, I would say yes, absolutely. Those are the stories I've
Yeah.
always liked.
Yeah,
Doesn't necessarily.
but
Yeah.
again, the hero's journey is a storytelling technique, not a trope.
Right. And that's why I couldn't. That's why I said if you guys want to answer the question, maybe you could do better than me, because I keep naming storytelling techniques or methods, and I seem to can't get the trope together. Neil Star. You're wicked. You're wicked, Neil Star. I'm sure Final will not.
Okay, all right,
I'm sure
look,
Final. I'm sure Final.
here's an example
sure
of
Final
a
will
trope. Here's an example of a trope. The ideal hero, he or she fights with honor. He never kicks opponents while they're down or uses dirty tricks to win a confrontation. If he takes the battlefield, he fights with appropriate force and despairs having to see any bloodshed. His or her goodness is genuine, not some con. And while he or she will always make the right choice, even when people would never know he made the wrong one. He looks up for the little guy, stands up for what's morally correct, and serves as the role model for heroes, being their standard bearer in many ways, and as a beacon of character for villains, even probably villains to give up their immoral ways. And
I
so,
like that.
a
Go
famous
ahead.
example. Well, two things. No, actually, three three famous examples. One of them, Jonathan Joestar of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure: Phantom Blood, and the other two, Superman and Captain America from DC and Marvel, respectively. Those three are among the best examples of the ideal hero.
Okay, I would agree with that. Draco, to go back to your question, it would have to be King Arthur, because his story is the one that is the most defiant. I would say Galahad, but he not Galahad. Who was the one that betrayed him with Guinevere? It's Galahad, right? Well, it'll come to me later. But to answer your question, Draco, my favorite knight is King Arthur. That was my favorite one. And back to
Lancelot.
Yeah, Lancelot. Thank you. Lancelot was cool, but he also betrayed him, so it's a little mixed bag with Lancelot. But Arthur would probably be my favorite because his story is the most, pun intended, is the most rounded and developed story. Again, so that would be my favorite knight of the round table would be his story. To answer his question. And I also was agreeing with Dom. Yeah, you explained that very well, and I think that would be my trope from what you just explained.
Yeah, the ideal hero in a nutshell. Basically the paragon.
Mm-hmm. Since you talked, what's your favorite trope, and name the best example or examples of this particular trope.
And while the ideal hero is one thing, but another, still trying to think on it, but I mean, I would like to say, there's already so many I can name. Like one trope I can name that's pretty much one of my favorites is the leader, the inspirational leader type of character. Your Superman, Captain America. I know. That's part of a 5-man band. It's just inspirational leaders based. Yeah, I still need to think this through.
You started off good.
All right, you could. I mean, if you still want to think on this, we'll get back to you. Humble?
Okay.
Oh, my favorite trope would be fiction trope, fish out of water story.
All right.
And the best example of that is in the first movie, Crocodile Dundee, when Dundee first makes it to New York City. Everyone else in New York is giving him this wide berth, and he's just saying hi to everybody. He's friendly, he's nice, he helps people out. One guy tries to challenge him with a knife. He's like, "Oh, that's not a knife." And then he takes out his giant cleaver. He's like, "That's a knife."
His machete.
Yeah.
I love Crocodile Dundee. He's one of my favorite characters, as well as one of my favorite movie series. Now, what drew you into the fish out of water trope?
The comedy of it, because it is basically an outsider in a new environment. Like the most known one probably would have been the isekai genre, but usually the person that gets isekai is usually like some nerd.
Well,
unless you tried and one of the oldest ones I'd seen of that genre had been called a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court, which is basically a guy that was taking a nap, and then he has to basically fake his way of being a magician throughout the entire Arthurian lore of history.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, good. I like Crocodile Dundee. Yeah. Cool choice.
Yeah, that and a Yankee in King Arthur's Court are definitely two of the best examples of a fish out of water in the utilization of the trope. But another one to add into your list is Coming to America with Akeem.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a good one.
Good morning, my
Yeah.
fellow neighbors. Yeah, fuck you. Yes, fuck you too.
Yeah,
Wake
he's
up,
so
Eloise.
he's so wide-eyed and looks at everything with such joy and excitement. He's
Such
not
wonder.
yeah, and such wonder. And he wants to meet all the people, even though they're strange not to him. Yeah, it's like everyone here is interesting, right down to the guys in the
Take
barbershop.
Ariel as another example from The Little
Yes.
Mermaid.
Yes, the true Little Mermaid, the animated Little Mermaid. Yes,
Right.
that's another. Yeah, same
Yeah,
thing.
this-
She was the same
And
way.
this is where the fish out of water trope is taken literally, because the fish in this
Mhm.
case is a mermaid.
Yep.
Mhm. And she is the same way about the human world, because we know when there's the scene where he takes her to the town, everything, even the way the horses clop when they're riding in the wagon, is just all of wonder to her. She's just excited about everything.
And what
Same
what
thing.
Ariel and Akeem have in common is they never, those two didn't lose their sense of optimism and idealism.
No?
And it rubs off on the people that they meet. I think it Eric just seems to be very happy when he's around her, and Akeem improves the lives of all the people that he meets.
Which in turn are good examples of another trope, a character with a flat
Hey,
arc.
Big Al's in the chat.
Hey, Big Al.
Welcome, Big
Nice.
Al. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for stopping by, Big Al.
I definitely did.
What? Go
ahead, Dom.
As I was saying, like, what's a? Oh, yeah, as like you said, like because of their actions, like they act, Ariel and Akeem like change the lives of the people around them, which is an example of a flat arc character.
A what character?
It's a flat
A character.
character.
Okay.
A flat arc character.
Oh, okay.
However,
A flat arc character.
However, in spite of what the name implies a flat arc character does mean a character who remains consistent with who they are, because they're already established, like who they are in terms of their character and otherwise. However, it does not mean a flat arc character doesn't go through obstacles or experience like changes.
Very true. Very true. Did we get Eloise's choice?
Wait, what was the question?
Like, what's your favorite trope or archetype in storytelling?
What is the best example of this trope and or archetype?
Oh damn, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, because I'm just as lost
I
as
guess
you
the
are.
underdog trope.
All right.
Yeah, that's a good one. Everybody loves an underdog story, so that's a good choice.
I don't. They must die.
Trying to think what was favorite underdog story.
It's a quote from President Snow.
I mean Naruto. Well, I mean, does Naruto even count as underdog? I mean, it starts that way, but I think the battle between Rock Lee and Gaara.
Yeah, Naruto and Rock.
It kind of
like
boils
those,
down to
they are
favorite
examples.
fight.
I mean, they are examples of the underdog story.
Now, there is also history's strongest disciple, Kenichi.
Ooh, that's another good one. I love that manga.
Okay, well, despite the topic, you guys are rolling off some good ones here.
And that leaves pretty much me.
And
yet
not just you, but also Wolf as well.
Oh, right.
Wolf, do you have a favorite trope?
Oh no, seriously, I'm just waiting for you guys to stop fumbling around your words about your favorite tropes. Don't mind me.
Oh, you're the birthday boy. We were gonna let you have the floor.
Red Oni,
So final,
Blue Oni,
do you want to go or do you want Wolf to
and
proceed
Clash of
first?
Siblings, as I like to call it.
Yeah, truth is, there's already so much that are pretty much my favorites. We already mentioned the Paragon. That's pretty much one of my favorites. A team, actually a team, a group, or and even to an inspirational leader. Okay, I do want to talk more about I want to talk first about inspirational leaders. So which that already falls into a Paragon type of character. Yeah, basically, yeah, actually a Paragon character. Besides Superman and
Oh god,
Captain
I'm gonna
America,
die
is
inside
another.
the base.
Yeah.
Shit.
Besides Captain America and Superman, I want to use another example of a Paragon leader. Well, it really depends on how he actually plays, but
Oh
actually
no.
goes that route. Commander Shepard from the Mass Effect series. Paragon
Oh.
Commander Shepard. And while Renegade Shepard, while he can get the job done, because a consistent thing about Commander Shepard is that he's willing to do anything in order to get the job done. But it depends on which choices that you do make. Whether you are basically as a rebel, a renegade basically is just a rebel who takes shits from no one, or a paragon, or as a paragon where you basically do actually care more about your team and the well-being of your team. And that's basically what makes one part that makes a great leader for a team, especially for choices for a Paragon Commander Shepard.
Okay, well, there you go. You got it out. There you go. I know if you thought about it for a while. That explains it good enough there.
Mm-hmm.
If you have more, continue. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I'm just saying.
That's
okay.
Fine. But now speaking of leaders, now for teams, 5-man band or the Magnificent Seven Samurai or the Magnificent Seven archetype. I can only best just name off examples from this because I mean, hey, yeah, I really can't even describe how much I do like this archetype. But best examples. There are so many examples, but examples I can give: the Warriors of Light in Final Fantasy, as the Warriors of Light trope in Final Fantasy. Now I know there's already teams in Final Fantasy that aren't Warriors of Light, but still, that's one. Avatar: The Last Airbender is the best example of a 5-man band. Stardust Crusaders. Now that Draco's just mentioned has mentioned JoJo to Draco Nightmare. Even better, that could also be a JoJo stand with whenever he's talking about it, whenever he's talking to Draco Nightmare. Passione from JoJo Part 5. But in terms of the Magnificent Seven, I'm pretty much an extension of the 5-man band, but extends with several other archetypes. And hey, there's the thumbnail of the video.
Oh, just focus, final focus. Do not fall for the spell of. You're on a good roll there, Magnificent Seven. Oh yeah,
because there are. Here's how the 5-man band works. There are 5 archetypes in the 5-man band, hence the name. But yet there's also a 6th member. So it's the leader, Lancer, Heart, and the smart guy and the big guy, or as I like to call it, the brain and the brawn. But then the 6th character, aptly named the 6th Ranger, but the 7 fits on one of 3 character types, either a flat character, 3 or 4, either a flat character, a newcomer, or a comic relief. Sometimes they could, or a comic relief, which actually that does make it 3. Something that hasn't really much been explored much in a 5-man band as of yet when introducing your own team. One example I can give with a band of 7. Yeah, a team of 7. Engine Sentai Goanger. a lot of the characters in Goanger, the main team with the main five, they're basically a bunch of goofballs. They always get into a lot of wacky hijinks because it is a very lighthearted show. But then we go to the Sixth Ranger, or Six Rangers rather, is the Go on Wings, which they act as more. They're just more serious. Yeah, they're more the serious side of the team, and not to say they don't have their lighthearted moments. They certainly do. It's just add some balance within the team.
Well, that's very good explanation. Wolf, why did you got the finalists giving us a good explanation, and you done got the chat tongues wagging.
And Neo talking about, and Neo mentioning about Ultros.
Yeah. Well, you expressed that pretty well. Magnificent Seven, that's a good example. So
and it comes from the movie The Magnificent Seven. It came from the film The Magnificent Seven.
Because Seven, yeah. Well, that can be used in other movie tropes as well. It doesn't have to. That's just used in the genre of a Western. But you can definitely use it in other fantasy, of science fiction, Star Wars. They had to Luke and Han had to come together to rescue Princess Leia, and then eventually they formed to help the rebellion. So that trope can be used in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So hey, you came up with something after all. All you had to do was talk it out. Those are good examples.
Yeah, because the problem, there was already so many archetypes and tropes that I did like, but there was already so many I wasn't sure which ones to name off. Because you already mentioned the Paragon character, which that's also one that I did like. But I did have to mention some others that did tie into what I was saying.
Oh, sorry, guys. I'm just.
You're okay.
Neostar asked you, where does the giant octopus fit in? I don't know which giant octopus.
Where does the giant octopus fit in? He's talking about Ultros. He's talking about Ultros. He's I think he first appeared since Final Fantasy VI. Yeah, it was Final Fantasy VI when he first appeared.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, and he mentions that. Yeah, because he mentions that Ultros is one of his favorite reoccurring bosses in Final Fantasy. For me, that's Gilgamesh. And and I do want to ask one of the questions that Draco asked one of our favorite Knights of the Round Table, Sir Galahad the Pure.
Yeah, I was going to mention. I would think he would have to be second next to Arthur for me, but yeah, I got Galahad and Lancelot mixed up. But yeah, I would agree with you with that too. Final. Why do you pick Galahad?
I mean, well, he wasn't much of a leader, an inspirational leader, as much as King Arthur is. I mean, depending on the telling. But but it's simply because, well, that's what he is. He is a paragon. He is what he is. That's why he's called the Pure, Sir Galahad the Pure. He's used as a paragon for other knights during medieval Europe as an inspiration.
I would agree. I still enjoy watching Excalibur. I still like to go back and look at that. My last boyfriend that I had many years ago, we would always sit. That was his favorite film, and I like to watch that too. I still like to watch Excalibur. For those of you out there, that film is old. It was made in the 1980s, but I still think it holds up. I think Excalibur holds up.
And while we're talking about King Arthur, apparently that's the fourth trope that I do like, the chosen one, the chosen hero.
Yeah, that's another good one. Neo in the Matrix. Neo is on that trope, the chosen one.
Yep. Well, Luke Skywalker certainly one.
Yes.
The hero lineage from Fable, from the hero of Oakvale to the hero of Bowerstone and the hero of Brightwall from the Fable trilogy. Any other chosen ones? Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
even though he kind of didn't even like that. Yeah, he doesn't even like the fact that he's chosen because apparently that's what makes. Well, he's already famous for that because now that he's chosen to take down Voldemort, and now he's going to take on that task because now he's trying to. Because now Voldemort's returning, but he's willing to do this for others so that he won't hurt anyone else. Because he's willing to do it. He's willing to sacrifice even himself to save a life. Because that's what makes him a great hero. But he hates being in his own fame because that reminds him when he became an orphan. And he's confronted by this every day, and he really doesn't like it. It's not to say that he hates everybody. He's more than willing to save someone regardless of who they are. That's why he even had to save Malfoy in the Deathly Hallows. Even though as much as he just bullied him, and as well as his friends, Hermione especially. Hell, even showing humanity in his own enemies, even Voldemort. When he showed humanity to Voldemort in the Order of the Phoenix.
Well, that's part of the hero's trope and the chosen one trope as well. Is those are though all the characters we named that you just named for the chosen one trope do have similar traits. Showing humanity, Voldemort, Luke willing to see the good in Vader, who is his father. Many of these characters have that similar trait in them, so that's a characteristic that they have, and that's and I think the reason that they use it a lot is because I think it works. I think we all identify with it, no matter the character is male or female.
One, though. He's the reluctant hero.
Well, it was reluctant at first.
Harry?
No, he meant Luke.
Oh,
It's not the chosen one.
Oh, damn it! I just died.
Remember, Anakin was the chosen one, or the thought, or the supposed chosen one. Luke was the reluctant hero that right or wrong.
That's right.
Well, eventually he does get there. Oh, okay. Well, eventually he does get there. You're right. It starts off that way. And
the way I see it sometimes, or at least the way I see it, is they never Obi-Wan never outright state that he is destined to be a Jedi, or he's destined to be bringer of the balance. He's destined to defeat his father. He is told to by Obi-Wan that of what happened to his father and the fate of the Jedi, and what really happened during the Civil War between the Republic and the Confederation. You know, he was giving him a brief history lesson, and no sooner than when the Empire came, because remember, Luke started off wanting to join the Empire. You guys gotta remember that. Remember that crucial detail, that he wanted to join he already was ready to turn his application in to be a pilot for the Empire. You guys remember that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So seeing what they done, he switched sides immediately. Seeing what they did to his uncle and auntie. But never in A New Hope did they ever state that he was destined for anything. He was only told by Obi-Wan the history facts of what really happened, because at this point, when you really boil down to it, the Jedi were now branded as traitors to the Republic, now rebranded as the Empire, right? They were seen as devils. But seeing how Leia had contacted Obi-Wan through a message, and saying that he was the only hope and everything, that kind of jump started Luke's heroism in a way. So he's pretty much the reluctant hero of that story, whereas Anakin was the chosen one. You following me?
Mm-hmm.
I never. Yeah, I follow you now. I never thought he was going to join the Empire. I have to admit that's a new one on me because when
It's
he's talking to
easily
Obi-Wan, when
missable.
Obi-Wan tells him about how.
It's easily
Yeah,
missable.
it is because all these years I've never caught that because he told Obi-Wan, "Look, it's not that I like the Empire, is I can't handle it, but I gotta stay here. I gotta do my farm duties and all that kind of thing." So you're right, that I missed.
There's a lot of things that I'll pick up on when it came down to us certain heroes, like the fact that in the first Spider-Man movie, Peter was geared up to kill the guy. People tend to overlook what Peter Parker was going to do to that one Robert in the first movie.
Yeah.
That's
Well, yeah, I
that's
kind
why
of picked up on that. Yeah,
it's
but
one
go
of the
ahead.
reasons why I vehemently hate that retcon in the third movie, because it really devalued that character moment in the first movie.
You talking about Sam Raimi's Spider-Man?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, all right. I'm just
that
trying to follow along with you.
that part really just boils my blood to no end. Especially when I first witnessed that in the theater. When I first went to see that in the theater and they made that change, I was infuriated. Mostly because, like I said, from the first movie, it was established that Peter almost killed a man. Whether you want to believe that or not, whether you want to think that Peter was going to do it or not, like you can tell that he had in his heart that he was going to kill that guy. And even though he didn't do it, it's like when you get to the third movie, you know, that completely devalues what his choice was. He had a choice. He made the choice. He didn't kill the guy, but it's like even if he did kill the guy, you know, you get to the third movie. Should she had killed that guy? He basically that'll make it even worse, especially what he said in that very movie. You mean to tell me you mean to tell me you guys didn't get the right guy? In other words, the, imagine the dialogue would be a lot different if he did kill the guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that would have put Peter in an even worse light.
Ouch.
That's why I hate that retcon, because like I said, it would have made Peter even more unlikable than he already was in that movie. Black suit or not, you know what I'm saying? Black suit or not, like I would have rewritten that dialogue, is what I'm saying.
Well, see, that's what I hate. I hate when they take a character who is likable and then the writers get bored with it.
It's not even that. It's just the fact that all they had to do was recorrect that dialogue, which is, this is the guy that was with the guy who shot your husband, Uncle Ben. That's all they had to do. It did not need to be, oh, this was not the guy who shot your uncle. This is the guy. It should have been, this guy was with the same guy who shot your uncle. Even worse, when they did the flashback with the Sandman, they made the other guy shake him and shoot him. Why couldn't it have been the other way around?
Well, that's when the writers. Yeah, go ahead.
Why couldn't he be the one that shook the guy while he was fighting with Uncle Ben with the car, and told him, like, no, we leave him be. Let's go. Look what you made me do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I follow along with you.
Because we never really seen how that whole thing went down, you know?
You mean in the first movie when he chased the thief into that abandoned warehouse? Yeah, he was going to kill He was going to kill the guy. He had the intentions of of killing him. That I got, and I could kind of understand.
All I'm saying is, now that you got me talking, I might as well start listing my tropes.
No, go ahead and finish. Yeah, I'm listening.
But like, Spider-Man 3 makes me so sick to the stomach.
It made everybody sick to their stomach.
I mean,
You're
there's
not
a lot.
alone
There's a
there.
lot. Like I can still enjoy Batman and Robin, but Spider-Man 3 is like no. It's so cynical. It is so
That's
cynical.
the point exactly. Cynicism is not a ingredient for a superhero story.
But I
That's what
digress.
that what kills a lot of these stories. What we're getting now and then in
I
the past.
digress.
Because
So
Peter Parker's not about cynicism. Go
my
on.
tropes is red only, blue only. The sealed evil in the can. Uh, born beautiful. That's my favorite. Born beautiful or born sexy. Prime example of that is Lilu from The Fifth Element.
I was
Now,
about to say, give me an
Now,
example. Now I
now
get
for
it.
those,
now if you want to get now if you
now,
want a horror
now for
now if you
those,
want a horror example, Seal from Species.
yeah, she's a prime example of when the born beautiful trope is utilized in the horror genre. What's those? What was it? For those in the audience, like, could you explain to them what is the red oni and blue oni trope?
It's a prime friendship trope that you can have where it's essentially the good cop bad cop trope, but it's like the prime examples will be just any anime protagonist with their anime rival or anime best friend that they tend to clash with. You got
Right.
the hot head, and then you also got the cool head. Prime example will be reluctant adversaries turn partners, Jean and Mugen from Shamai Champloo.
Oh,
Not ringing any bells, I guess. Okay,
Yeah,
keep
no,
I'm
going.
not
Alright,
no,
I'm not
Champloo.
familiar
no.
with those. I'm
I'm
sorry.
just nodding. Yeah, my camera's not
Hmm.
on, but I was like nodding my head because Mugen and Jen are great examples of the red oni and blue oni.
oh.
It's literally in their design too.
I was
You got a
Mugen
point.
for some
dresses
reason
red.
I was thinking Raijin and Fujin in Japanese mythology, but wait, that's not red oni and blue oni.
That's
Good
mythology,
cop,
though.
bad cop.
Yeah,
That's still mythology.
right.
You want to make it? Want me to make it easier for you, humble? Batman, Superman.
Oh, true. Oh yeah, it does fit.
When you factor into the Superman, Batman comics.
Yeah, especially that one comic where they did one time travel episode and Old Man Batman happened to be scariest Batman.
I'll show you Samurai Champloo's for you uninitiated.
I get it.
Because
I'm go ahead.
I'm sure Eloise has a Naruto example or a Shonen example.
What happened? Sorry,
You know what?
guys.
You know what? Just keep playing your game. Just keep playing your
Sorry,
game.
I'm just.
Just keep playing your game. You're good.
The anime characters I'm not familiar with, but so I'm sorry on that nature. But the other ones that you mentioned, interesting. With the good cop and the bad cop, I get it. Is it
Legolas
just
and Gimli.
okay? That one I definitely understand. Yes.
The red only, blue only trope. It's only effective when you have when you want to show two philosophies through embodying into two different characters. When you don't want to focus on one protagonist and give them both philosophy at the same time, you can they don't necessarily have to be friends either. They can be just partners. Hell, just like how Final mentioned Commander Shepard, there's also some red only, blue only action in a lot of the a lot of the partners you bring with you.
Yeah.
Specifically, anything that's a Krogan.
Yeah.
In
Because
any
when it comes
case,
to
if you're playing Paragon and Pariah of any sort in any of the Mass Effect and KOTOR games, there's always that red Oni that you have to deal with
Mhm.
in your squad, especially in conversation.
Yeah, because the partners that you bring with you would just basically be a metaphorical devil and angel on your shoulder from which choices that you pick to be either a paragon or renegade.
Born Beautiful yesterday. Ripley 8. Don't tell me y'all forgot about Ripley 8
Uh,
from
I don't-
Alien Resurrection.
I did
I know
not
what
like.
you're talking about.
I know you're talking about, but I was not a fan of that movie, so I
Yeah.
can't be
You don't have
honestly
to be a
have too much
fan.
to say on that.
Just know that I'm gonna be referenced. I reference her.
Um,
I didn't ask whether you're a fan of it. I just want to know that is she recognizable to you?
No, because
Not
I didn't
necessarily.
like the movie.
But one,
Wolf. I'm sorry.
but I can name one
So-
example of someone who's. I can name one example of someone who is born beautiful. Aphrodite in Greek mythology.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
let's see. Aphrodite, Snow White.
Can
Um,
you really call it that? The Born Beautiful trope only works is when they come from a sea and they grow real fast.
oh,
like
Thumbelina.
Who?
Yeah, which the story says that she was blessed with. She was born in skin white as snow, red lips
She
as a red
started as
rose.
a baby.
and
She didn't
hair's like
grow
this
to
anyway.
full adult the next day. But
Oh,
yes,
so you're talking about?
humble
You're
mission,
talking about?
Thumbelina.
Okay. You have to give me a little bit more clarity on Born Beautiful.
Especially in the Don Bluth movie, Thumbelina.
Yep. That's any.
I mean,
that's any version. That's a given.
What do you mean? You have to give me some more clarification, Wolf. What do you mean Born Beautiful? Do you mean just born and
They
you have
go
these?
into a full grown ass adult and they're fucking sexy.
Okay. All right. Okay.
You can incorporate cyborgs and androids too, because that in a way kind of counts. It kind of counts.
Or
In
Rule
most ways.
63, the clones from Star Wars.
I'll allow
If someone's really into that.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it. You got me there. I'll allow it. And then there's the big damn heroes. I always love when reinforcements come in and save the day, especially if they're saved by good friends and great allies. This is Mugen and Jin, by the way. Literally the red and blue Oni.
And Dante and Virgil of Devil May Cry. There are other examples of the red Oni and blue Oni being utilized.
Yeah, sometimes the red Oni and blue Oni tend to clash too in this regard, so it can go either way. However you want to slice it.
Are you when you mean this trope? Do you mean those that are different and they become friends, or some that are friends but they have, despite their differences, they still keep a friendship?
Bit of both.
Okay.
In fact, all the both. It runs both ways. It's just the way how that trope only works is if they're clashing, their ideologies that clash with each other, but always meet a compromise.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I was about to ask, like, does Dante and Virgil fit with the red Oni versus blue Oni? Well, yeah, I mean, I get it from their color scheme. But I always thought that's the example from Raijin and Fujin, going by Japanese mythology.
Yes. But it doesn't have to be just mythology.
I know.
Hellboy and Abe from the comic Hellboy.
No, they're just
See, I was thinking.
they're good best friends.
That's
They
one.
don't have.
Oh, that's the
they
red
don't
Oni
have
versus
clashes.
blue Oni. Yeah.
That's not red Oni and blue Oni. They're really good friends. They
Mm.
cooperate. What I'm saying is
Right.
they tend to butt heads, but they compromise.
Right.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
These two they agree with each other all the damn time. Why am I doing this again? Two rotten eggs. Right.
So yeah, they're not exactly friends or compadres. They're just they have to work together, but they find a way to
Sometimes they're
settle.
friends. Sometimes they're partners.
Okay.
Sometimes they're work buddies.
Because I was going to say Steve Rogers and Bucky Barnes, but I don't know if
Nope.
that's exactly
Those are
in
good
that. Yeah.
friends.
Nope.
Those are
Yeah.
best friends.
Okay. That's out.
Those two
Okay.
are those two are friends.
Okay.
Carter and Lee in the
See,
first Rush
yes.
Hour.
And also Merton Riggs of Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, that
That's
was
what I
on my
meant.
mind. Yeah.
That's why I reference good cop, bad cop. You guys got when I'm talking giving y'all some close example hints, y'all need to take it.
I'm
not trying to
taking it
trick
because
y'all.
well,
I'm
now
not
that
trying
you
to make
defined
difficult.
it, when you said that and defined it more better, yeah, Lethal Weapon was the first thing that came to my mind.
They gave Echo its own solo game. It's a side scroller beat 'em up. Look like.
I do want to
They
mention.
focus well.
Right. I do want to ask like another archetype and trope that you guys like. What are some of your favorites? A mother archetype or a mother archetype and father archetypes. Some of your favorites. Some of your favorite
Surrogates.
father figures are whether it can be surrogate or literal parents, adopted parents, father figures or mother figures. Like which one are your favorites?
Uncle Phil.
That's a good
For a
one.
father.
He's still a father. Uncle Phil is still. He may be the uncle, but he's still a fatherly figure.
Oh yeah, as like
Yeah.
what I'm saying, like literal fathers, like if they're actually a father to one,
Hohenheim.
right?
I'm totally
I mean, I was
kidding.
asking like,
It's not Hohenheim.
yeah, I was asking like your favorite father figures and mother figures in fiction. They can be actual fathers and mothers, or surrogate mothers and fathers, adopted parents. It can be any kind.
For me, it would be Jor-El, Superman's earthly. Excuse me, Jor-El, his real blood father, and Jonathan Kent as his surrogate father. Both of those, I think, play a part in the molding of Superman. So I like both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're already starting off with fathers first, but I guess.
Yeah, we can start. Any other characters that are fatherly? I would say Gandalf, in a way, is fatherly in the advice that he gives, the wisdom that he has. Wolf took Uncle Phil, so I won't mention that one. But
we're the future, Charles. They no longer matter.
Obi-Wan.
Use the Force, Luke.
Danny Tanner from Full House, Mr. Miyagi of the Karate Kid series.
Doc Brown.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Doc. Yeah. I mean, besides George McFly, Doc has been a father figure to Marty, like through their friendship.
To humble Marty?
I think Marty the Time Traveler.
I'm kidding.
Any other father figures that are your favorites? You two?
Lloyd from Spy Family. He ends up being the tired dad who ends up getting to do lots of work.
Mm-hmm.
And he's considered the psychologist of the fist to the head therapy.
Morpheus in the Matrix. Morpheus is sort of a fatherly figure.
But Carl Winslow is the
More like a Harold in any case.
Carl Winslow, Optimus Prime. Mother. Oh, go ahead, Leia.
Oh, I
You're
was
about
just gonna
to
say
say
more.
something?
The last father figure that I could think of right now. I'm sure we could think of more, but just not thinking at the
Yeah.
moment. But I would say Morpheus.
Mm. Uh, Eloise, you got some of your favorite father figures?
Father figures? Damn, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Can't think of any.
Oh, there
Um,
there's got to be maybe one or two.
Yeah. They could be an actual father, a surrogate father, or adopted father. Anyway goes.
I know, Big Al. It was enticing. I knew somebody would pick up on that.
What?
Mhm.
What? Well,
I'm sorry.
after we list off like who our favorite mother and father figures in fiction.
We just
Well,
primarily named off our dads. We're about to get to mothers next because Leia and
I'm
Wolf
just
started off
saying,
with father figures.
I'm just saying, like after we're done talking about those two, like, do you want to answer one of Draco's earlier questions about House of M and its impact on the Marvel universe? Because, well, it was a follow up to Disassembled.
Mm.
Well,
Hold on,
like I said, we can touch on that after we're done talking about mothers and fathers in fiction.
Right.
Okay.
damn. I just died. I tried to. Oh, favorite father figures. Let's see. I'm trying to think.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Syntax.
Humble is still thinking.
No, it's Eloise.
Oh,
No,
Eloise.
that's
Sorry.
Eloise.
Eloise. Sorry about that, Eloise. I think I named all of the ones that are my. I just named my personal
All
favorite. I'm
Might.
sure there's thousands of them out there, but I just named the
All
ones that
Might.
personally.
Oh, All Might from My Hero Academia.
All Might.
I'm trying to think of a real father though, like someone who is actually a parent.
Let's not mention
can-
Uncle
any-
Ben.
Uncle Ben's one. It can any way can go for a father figure. It can be an actual father, adopted dad, surrogate dad. Any way goes.
Don't limit yourself to actual fathers.
Hard on that.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be blood. It could be like Final just described it. It could be a surrogate. It could be a king. It could be a leader. It could be anybody that it can fall into that category.
Mike Guy.
Yep,
Mhm.
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Reed Richards.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he is a dad. He has a son.
From Static Shock.
Yeah. Fun fact about Static is it is in the comics. Comics, like his mom, Virgil's mom is actually still alive while his dad is the one who died. So effectively, Mrs. Hawkins in the source material is a widower, whereas in the TV show the roles were reversed.
Odin. Thor.
Yes.
Odin very much was fatherly.
Much of a better father than Zeus is.
Yes, that's what I would say. I wouldn't count Zeus. I would think Odin.
He is the All Father. He earns that role.
Yeah.
Say nothing of God of War Ragnarok Odin though.
Because again, the God of War series is fun. It's a fun video game series. However, how it portrays the gods and goddesses of the various mythologies, it rubs some people the wrong way, especially those like who are aficionados like in mythology.
Right. I guess Eloise can't even name of one because she's kind of taking a bit of a long time. Well, Wolf already named one of my favorite father figures, Odin.
Shall we move on to mothers then?
Yeah. Mother figures.
Bitch, I got one right on the screen.
You'll have to introduce me to this character. I don't know who she is.
The one one I've been trying to introduce to Professor for the longest time, Bolsa from Morabito.
Ah.
All right.
That's one bad
All right.
bitch.
Not a bad choice. But however, keep in mind, well, not everyone has watched this series. So can you explain to them who she is?
One badass bitch. Enough
Can you
said.
get-
Dude, come on.
So her name is Badass Bitch, or Bab for short.
Well,
Well, she is called Bolsa.
I mean,
But
I
why
have
she-
that.
Badass.
Wolf.
I have that.
why is she a motherly figure to you?
Well, her story
Come on.
coincides. Her story would kind of remind you of Xena, Warrior Princess, in the fact that she has killed over 11 people, and now she has saved over 11 people by being the bodyguard to atone.
I was finally able to end the match. Oh my god.
Congratulations.
Oh my god, we were playing against easy mode bots, and it was like, because my team kept feeding the bots, so it turned into hard mode real quick.
Mm.
It's enlightening.
Motherly.
our-
Well,
And
go
our
ahead,
big-
continue.
And our final protection was to protect this young prince who was going to be murdered. I forgot the circumstances and the reasoning, but she had to protect him from the emperor of that land she was in. And her first introduction to her character was saving said boy earlier from drowning. But throughout he was going to get murdered because he was possessed by a guardian spirit. That's right. And he was also illegitimate, if I recall correctly. But other than that, she's palling around with this kid and taking good care of him, being mother, show him the ways of common folk and everything. And over time, she's shown her maternal instincts instinctively. Like she doesn't even they don't really say much of what she's doing. You're just bearing witness to it.
Neo's comment. Ironically enough, Disney's Zeus is a decent father, and that's the only way that Zeus is very much of a decent father, unlike how he's in mythology. But now we're talking about mothers now.
I mean,
But
if you factor
anywho,
in blood of Zeus, he actually is a kind of a decent guy in that one too, somewhat.
Yeah, I have to agree with that also.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
They still have his cheating ways, sure, but they toned that shit down to a definite degree, and even interacting with his illegitimate children was actually the most heartwarming thing I've seen in that animation.
Yeah. Anyway, Leia, mother figures, your favorite mother figures?
Well, I would have to say in mythology, I would have to say Athena, because even though she is a water goddess, she also protects the heroes with her. She gives them her protection. She did that with Perseus and other characters. She protects the heroes. I would say.
Oh, guys, I gotta go.
Take care.
Oh.
Okay, take care, Eloise.
Good night, Eloise. Thank you for joining us.
We're gonna pull all nighter today because I'm off tomorrow. I don't know about
Good night.
Well, I can only go so far. I have to work in the morning, so I'll let you know when I have to.
Yeah.
Bow out, but what I'm saying is we're gonna keep going.
I can't talk because it's like nighttime and my parents start.
We know you're gonna get shot, of course. Say no more. Get out of here.
Continuing with mother figures, I was going to say Ripley. And that particular, her motherly instinct was showed in Aliens, the sequel. Oh, Aliens. Go ahead.
But whatever.
Oh, my next one with Athena would also be Ripley from the Aliens movie, and her motherly instinct was very much showed in that film. That's a lot of her motivation for the film, is not just going there and trailblazing down the aliens, which they do deserve, but also the fact to save this young girl, and that motherly instinct came out. I would also have to say the mother in the animated Tarzan, the mother ape in the animated Tarzan, very much Kaya. Yes.
Kala.
Kala. That's I knew it was. I couldn't quite get her name. I said it. I couldn't. It's Kia. I can't say. I couldn't know. But
Kala.
Kala is one of my favorites from Disney's Tarzan.
He can
That was
stay.
very much.
That does not make him my son.
But that doesn't resonate. She still raises Tarzan as her own, even when it came to the time for Tarzan to know the truth as to who he really is.
I'll be here, don't
'Cause-
you cry.
When she has to, and that kind of emotioned me when he realized she had to tell him who he really is, and she didn't try to stop him from going to live with the humans.
Two worlds, one family.
Oh, I got him
Just
started.
your heart,
Oh God.
let fate decide.
I got him started. So I said Ripley, I said Athena, I said Kala. There are many others.
That's when they really relied on people singing rather than making damn songs for each character. They used to music to tell what's on the damn screen.
Oh yeah, well Tarzan is a great soundtrack. That's one of
It
one
is
of
a great
Disney's best
soundtrack, but the
soundtrack,
problem
yeah.
was the damn
ahead.
song was singing what was on the damn screen.
You just wanted the theme, the music.
I mean, shit. Like Kaya sung most of that shit. Then Phil Collins checked in. I was like, motherfucker, you get your time at the end of the damn credits, motherfucker.
Oh,
not in the
whoa.
damn movie.
Oh, whoa.
That's how that shit's supposed to work. You got the Disney characters version, and then you got the musicians version. There ain't no you jump on in after she done did her thing. She's supposed to do her thing, not you. You do that at the end in the credits, motherfucker. Besides, who the fuck want to hear your damn voice anyway? Take me home.
Whoa.
Damn nasally ass whiny little baby. Every time I hear this motherfucker, I can hear it calling in the air tonight. That's him all tuning.
Well, you know what you're talking about.
I've been waiting for this moment all my life. Oh Lord.
I was just talking about a mother from Disney, and I opened up Wolf's Can of Worms on Phil Collins. Well, we won't be playing any Phil Collins records for you. I like that song because motherly figure. Oh my lord! Oh my god! I like some of his songs. I have experienced his album. It rocks.
That's fine. I just don't like him as a person. Fuck him. Stop ripped on his ass. That shit was hilarious. They put a fucking Oscar up his ass in that damn episode. Oh, let my ass up when it was when they did the crowd waving on his ass with the damn Oscar up his ass. That was hilarious.
Oh my god! And I thought he was talking about motherly figures.
Well, I know of a very Izumi Curtis from Full Metal Alchemist.
Yep. Good example.
I would say Galadriel to some extent. She's sort of a spiritual mother in my eyes.
Yeah.
Galadriel from Galadriel. So she's sort of a spiritual mother in my eyes, because motherhood is, as we say, we can define. It doesn't have to be physical mother. It could be surrogate. It could be spiritual. It could be a motherly figure in many ways. And I think she is sort of a spiritual in her own way. In Tolkien's world, she is a spiritual mother herself, and that's me.
Yeah.
And I think I named all my favorite mothers.
Could have someone like Lloyd's wife. I can't believe I forgot her name, but I remember her because she actually slapped Lloyd so hard when he tried to seduce her that he ended up flying across the bar and ended up getting knocked out after he walked out of the bar.
Her name is Yor.
Oh, Yor, yeah.
I ain't even read nor watched that damn anime. I know who you talking about.
Read the series, Wolf.
When I'm ready.
Oh yeah, one. Sorry. sorry, even though we're talking about mothers, but there's one father figure that's also one of my favorites, Jean Valjean from Les Miserables.
Oh yes,
All right.
yes. Okay, yeah. Good one. I missed that one. That's a good choice.
Godzilla, motherfuckers.
Final, why would you put him on your list? Godzilla, oh my lord.
You
Final,
call
why would you-
Godzilla a father wolf?
That's what he
Yes,
just
he's a
said.
damn daddy.
It's on his list. I would say why, but I'm afraid to ask.
Because he's
Yeah.
a motherfucking daddy.
Yeah, but Wolf. But why is he on your list though?
Who is he
Because
father?
he taught
oh.
his son how to beat ass.
Oh my
On
lord.
book.
Oh yeah, I forgot he had a son.
He had 2 sons.
Oh yeah.
One of
Right.
them one of them was retarded.
Right. I
Little
forgot
autistic little
about that.
Godzilla.
You had to remind me of
Yep.
that, didn't you, Wolf?
The other
And-
one took up his mantle, but they never did anything with that motherfucker.
Thank you, Wolf. I hate that. Anyways, yeah, you were asking Leia of why I thought Valjean.
Yes, right. Quick before we go back into mothers, why did you put him on your list? Wolf.
I just let him do his thing anyway.
Why do you
He's-
see him as fatherly?
Well, for one reason and one reason only. Even though Cosette is not much of his actual daughter, she's his adopted daughter, and he's only doing this for the sake of Fantine, who is the actual mother to Cosette, and he's only doing it for her sake, and that's a promise that he would make to her. But at the same time, he would treat Cosette as a daughter, as if Cosette was actually his own daughter. And yet, even though his life is already on the run, he's trying to make sure he keeps hidden so that he wouldn't get caught by Inspector Javert, because he's on the hunt for him, and he wants to lock him up even though he already spent his time there. And as much as he's already much of a changed man, thanks to the bishop. But didn't even realize that Cosette has already fallen in love with Marius. But then as soon as he actually realized that, it says, okay, he's just now trying to get hit. Now he wants his daughter to be happy with Marius, but at the same time, he wants Marius to be happy with his own daughter for the sake of trying to make his daughter happy. That's all a parent would even want for their own child.
All right. Okay. That's a good reason. I was just curious. That's all. That was a good reason.
Mhm.
That's a good reason there also about that, because that should be a trait of a father. What you just explained is
Absolutely,
a trait a father
yes.
should have. That should be a trait of any father, of all the fathers we named.
He's very
Accepting
selfless
consent.
too.
Yes. You have to be as a dad and what you want best for your children, whether they're yours biologically or they're adopted. You want what's best for them,
Right.
and being a leader for it.
Anyways, back to mothers.
I think I've named all of my mothers. The last one on my list would probably be Claire Huxtable, because I don't think we have too many Claire Huxtables on TV anymore. But I think I've named all my lists. Does anyone want to take a shot at their list of their favorite moms, motherly figures?
No, what we need to do is move on from this.
Okay.
So, next saucy question.
I'm surprised no one asked any personal questions of us on this panel. What the hell wrong with
Well,
y'all? I
yeah,
told y'all to be
However,
juicy.
however, all right,
I,
I
want to
did
see,
point-
I just want to tempt fate here today, and thought y'all was gonna ask some.
Nobody's
Jacko earlier had
asking
asked
you.
me what I felt like being close to my 40s.
Yes, that's a good question.
Nothing's changed yet.
Um,
I ain't feeling 40
well,
yet.
uh,
also Draco asked us.
Oh.
Says on the impact House of M and Disassemble
Oh.
left behind
I
like in the
could've
long
sworn we
run
answered that damn
for the Marvel
question
universe.
already.
No.
I mean, we're still on the subject of mothers. Like one of our favorite mother figures. Dom, do you got some?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I got. Oh, and Viv from as well as. All right, I'm back. Anyway, and Viv from Fresh Prince, as well as Martha Kent.
Mm.
Well, also actually, I'll also add in two more. Leslie Tompkins for Bruce. And for the second, all that was until before that. The last one will be. Oh no, her name should not be. Her name should not be escaping me.
While he's thinking, I just want to throw in, I forgot to name him. He's at the top of my list. Giles from Buffy the Vampire Slayer as fatherly figure, because he definitely was a father figure to Buffy.
Mhm.
I just want to throw that in there, was Giles.
All right, one more. Storm. Storm of the X-Men.
Right.
Definitely.
Even though Jean's normally associated to being a mother figure, but Storm definitely, yeah.
Absolutely. That I do agree with that.
And Diana. Diana has a Wonder Woman. She's also known to be a motherly figure to various superheroes. Especially to Cassie before she became the new Wonder Girl.
For some of my favorite mothers, well, she would feel like she's a mother of the team. Tifa Lockhart from Final Fantasy VII.
You're not wrong.
Other mother figures.
Y'all getting overly indulgent. Let's move on.
Okay, Final has the last pick, and then we may proceed. Okay. I guess we were trying to answer the question. We had to think. Sometimes when those questions pop up, you have to think, and it doesn't come to you right away.
I just think it's time to move on. If y'all can't even think that fast like I do. I'm sorry to say. We can't be having too much dead air, is all I'm saying.
I know.
While y'all sitting around thinking and all that nonsense. Y'all think like a thinking machine, think like a mentat.
We have to have your training on thinking. What topic did you want to move to next? Did you want?
It's really daunting. When it's really daunting because it's we're getting too far and away of things that we like.
Okay.
To the point where we can't even think on top of our head of things that we like. This should be a no-brainer for every single one of you guys when it comes to the pop culture. It's like anything like mother figures, father figures. That should be definitely easy for you guys. We usually, to the point where we don't even have to put any parameters on it. It's simple. It's simple stuff because we read, we watched, we played all the type of things that we like, and we've done it multiple times to be able to know what to label. Just think about that, guys. How far we've forgotten so far.
So if you could transform into a Ben 10 alien, what would you pick?
Well, I want to counter what you said. It is not what we've forgotten.
Yeah, I named my people.
Saying that we forgot because we've been at this longer than some of those in this current generation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have to agree with
we can't name characters instantly, but if we actually like to think about that, it doesn't mean we forgot them.
It's just our library has become so fast. I think Wolfish just wants really juicy. He wants some juicy questions to deep into his soul, and that's what he's waiting on.
Well, it's not. Oh, really? I thought like throughout the stream, he's just being impatient with us.
Yeah.
Not really.
Well, would you like to answer Neostar's question?
Easy.
Okay, you go to first shot, and then I'll name my alien, which would be hard for me because I don't. If you could transfer into Ben 10 alien for a week, who would you pick? I have not seen the show in a long time, so honestly, I cannot answer. I don't want to drag since
Wild Butt, Stink Fly, Accelerate.
He said
Alien X.
not.
He said A, so meaning
I'm giving
one.
her some examples.
He's giving me examples because I haven't seen the show in a very long time. I used to watch it with my
Arms.
nephew.
Ben Wolf, Ben Frank, Ben Mum.
Okay, anyone want to take it over me while I think?
Ghost Freak.
Oh, you evil son of a bitch.
Ditto on my end.
I have not seen the show in a long time, so I must be honest, Neostar. As great as your question is, I could not answer that honestly. Because when I answer questions like that, it's got to be a character I like. Humble, do you have a favorite alien you would transfer into, or are you thinking?
Either Blitz Wolf or Jury Rig.
Ben, I don't know. Ben Wolf rolls off the tongue better than Blitzwolfer.
Is Blitzwolfer his ultimate form?
No, it's a name. It's a name change from Ben Wolf that occurred in Omniverse, which remains one of the weakest entries in the Ben 10 series.
Which is why I quit. It's one of the reasons why I quit that series right then and there.
I like Jury Rig just for his fixing and disassembling powers.
So
there's also gray matter.
Yeah, true, gray matter.
And yeah, over time the aliens became more redundant when it's really a drawback when you have a show of that nature.
Well, I mean, it's not just that. Like
you have other aliens that they're essentially the exact same as the previous aliens, and it makes you question why don't he just use this alien instead? What makes this alien any different?
Toy sales.
That too.
Good response.
Though my favorite one to watch was Wrath. His rents were amazing.
Let me tell you something.
John DiMaggio, he owned that character.
Oh, I really wish that Ben used them more often because I want to hear John DiMaggio. Let me tell you something.
Well, then answer Neostar's question.
The Wolverine mixed with Lobo. Did final answer?
I did. My answer was Ghost Freak.
Oh, that's right. We said you were an evil son of a bitch.
Just to scare criminals.
And I already give out my answer. Ditto.
Well, Leia will be definitely Gwen.
Remind me of Gwen again.
The cousin.
Ben's cousin.
Oh.
Alien.
Okay, really, Gwen? Okay.
Ben's cousin has basically energy powers, and she's a magician.
Well,
she's a magician.
Magic,
that's cool.
Magic energy powers because she is like half alien from her grandmother, which are composed of beings made of magic.
She's basically Starfire of the Starfire of the team.
Or in this case, a mystical Starfire.
Magical powers. I like that. That's cool.
Translation: they could not have settled. They did not settle on what they want to do with her. So make her alien.
Well,
That's
well,
what that shit was.
well, the half alien bit like actually enhanced her already established mystical abilities after she took Charm Castle's book.
That's all she really needed was trying to cast her book to carry over to Alien Force.
Now
That's all she really needed.
I didn't get the whole make her half alien thing, but the one part of that episode I liked was the grandmother.
I hated her.
She was not a bad addition. However, I don't know, you could tell like they don't know what to do with Verdona, and also like how they decided to characterize her.
That's the
True.
reason why I didn't like her. She was just out of nowhere. She reeked stuff out of nowhere. Throughout that whole episode, out of nowhere, we have an explanation for Gwen's magic abilities. Out of nowhere, Gwen's half alien. Out of nowhere, neither of her parents are aware of this. Out of nowhere, none of them has exhibit these powers like she has. Out of nowhere, her grandma just wanted to take her away, to steal her away so that she could manifest her powers better.
Yeah, that's the part I didn't like about her. She was like, "Oh, I know. Let's have you give up your body." I'm like,
That's
"No,
the
I
literal
kind of
definition
need
of
that."
filler.
Yeah.
Unnecessary filler.
She wants to transform her into a mature Anodite.
That was not needed. Should have said.
Well, okay, Drake.
She learned all that she needed to know from that book, and that's how her powers manifested to that point. That's all they had to do.
I noticed they didn't have Ben 10 get a Anodite sample.
That's true.
And considering how creepy it would be, I could see how it'd be frowned upon too. And it's like, where'd you get it, Grandma? What did you do? Hairbrush.
Technically, the grandma only way he can be able to do that is if the grandma attacked the Omnitrix.
No, the sampler setting.
Yep. And he could.
Yeah, she'd practically have to eat the dang thing off his wrist.
If nothing else, truth be told, there was a lot of things he could have done in Alien Force a lot better. Like he never once did he ever try to assimilate DNA from the hybrid.
Well, the hybrid. Oh yeah, you're right.
So I don't give a damn how sophisticated their DNA is. That's DNA. That is still DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Like
And
you could
even
make the argument if he even attempted it, it would manifest it something differently, or its form will be incomplete because that would give us a clue as to what's going on with the hybrid. The fact that their species is dying despite them claiming to be the higher species.
Or if the Omnitrix like acquire or the DNA sample of the hybrid Henry and his form will actually be more stronger because like his form it mixes with other alien DNA samples, which would actually would have worked as an effective foreshadowing of how the Omnitrix can save the hybrid race.
Or even the DNA aliens. Should have got one of those.
Well, the DNA aliens like they were mutated humans like with the xenocytes attached to them, so you can't really get a DNA sample from them.
Yes, he could. Oh yeah, they're literally parasites. He's basically collecting DNA from a parasite.
Uh,
They're literally head crabs.
oh gosh.
Dude,
When
heck,
you really look
Benton
at
the
their
head crab. That would be interesting.
head bin,
also,
bin
also,
head.
well, in response,
Yeah, and knowing his luck, that one alien he'd get that'd be kind of like that would have probably been like some wig, like from the band Kiss.
Oh wow.
you don't speak. Well, Draco, there is a way to write a proper Ultimate Marvel universe. Just don't follow like what the creators had done with it, which led to its ultimate downfall.
House of M was not a very good storyline. I always
I
still
liked
to
Well,
this
not
day
yeah,
wonder.
despite
well,
how
not.
nutty it
I,
was.
I mean,
Well, it did a lot of damage, but go ahead.
not just House of M, but also Avengers Disassembled as well. When Brian Michael Bendis like came into the Avengers title after Jeff
Uh,
Johns.
it always come back to Bendis, doesn't it?
Yep.
Mr. Word Salad Dude?
Yep.
Not just word salad,
Motherfucker need to
but the same
write essays
but
instead.
not just the word salad dude, but he's the same guy who still refuses to do his own research on established characters in their respective universes.
Really? It's like an internet search away. I mean, Joe Quesadilla did an entire. Yeah, Joe Quesadilla did an entire textathon when he tweeted, and you could tell with how long he was tweeting. I'm like, somewhere out
Y'all
there, he's
remember
been
that
tweeting
Joe
this on top of a
Quesadilla?
toilet.
When it comes with Bendis, like he would rather do characters that he made on his own, with assistance of an artist that doesn't have a long established history like a majority of heroes and villains of the Marvel and DC universes respectively. But back then, like he was mainly tied to the Marvel universe. But every time like he writes an established characters, like he writes, it comes off as very off. It just comes to show that he didn't do his homework on them.
Exactly. That's it right there.
Whenever like us fans like bring that up, he doubles down instead of like owning up to the mistake.
Exactly. I agree, Dom.
And I wanted to answer Draco Nightmare's earlier question. What damage did House of M do to the Marvel Universe that's worse than One More Day? No, dude. House of M is the one that put the nail in the coffin that changed the Marvel Universe for the worse. One More Day didn't change the Marvel Universe for the worse. That changed Spider-Man solely for the worse, because that was Spider-Man's story. That's what ruined Spider-Man. The entire Marvel Universe was ruined thanks to House of M.
And Avengers Disassembled, so which left long term damage for both the X-Men and the Avengers respectively, and even with New Avengers, which was also done by Bendis, which has its highlights, it still didn't really remove the taint that he had done with both the Avengers and the X-Men with Disassembled and House of M and Decimation.
Mm-hmm.
Final, I think that first of all, you and Dom are correct, but I think also in one of Professor Geek's streams, I remember he kind of touched on this a little bit of when they came up with these plot lines, just like what Dom said, and just like what you said, you get Bendis and you get these writers in here who either they don't know the character, they don't take time to go to the character, or they're bored of it, so they sit down and say, well, gee, I want to do something that really makes a name for myself. Let's deconstruct the tropes. Let's deconstruct the characters.
Oh no, that
Let's
wasn't the
get
intention
interested.
for Bendis and Joe Quesada when they did One More Day with Spider-Man. No, they did it
Okay.
just because they thought, oh, it's because he's older and now there's no way he can't even be relatable to the children because children love him now. So we just still gotta keep him young, which is why they are so chicken shit if Spider-Man ever grows up.
Yeah, because he should. Yeah, I do agree with that. Yes, I'd absolutely agree. I don't understand why they don't let him be Spider-Man, because everybody grows up and matures and goes through things. And I don't see reason not that for Peter Parker.
Yes.
So yeah,
and it's
I
not
can see
just
that.
Peter solely. It's literally everyone else. Batman, especially, like when he gets older, now he's older. We gotta hit the reset button. Just hit the reset button. Hit the reset button. Hit the reset button. They don't fit the what is it? The pedagogical function for the epic hero, where they respond to different stages in life. Where even when it means gasp, getting married and having kids.
Yes, exactly. I wouldn't mind if Peter matures and he marries,
think
because his set
that
his problems are
getting married
different.
and doing all that stuff is dictating their lives, which they want to live childless free and responsibility free.
Well, you may have a point there, Wolf, because I wouldn't mind if Peter, I'll just say Mary Jane as example. I wouldn't mind if Peter and Mary Jane get married.
And hate people
And
who do live a fulfilling life of family.
yeah, because that gives him
Well-
a whole set of values and problems to deal with while still being a hero, but he still has other things that he would have to deal with. And I
Yes.
see nothing wrong with that.
Hello, Black Lightning.
So
hello,
they're
Well, I mean-
basically, so they're basically jealous of a fictional character's sex life.
No,
Nope.
no, it's more along line of people, be it fictional and real life, living a fulfilling life than them. Whereas with Peter, like him and MJ have been married for over 30 years. 30 years, and this, where it's just as long as Reed and Sue.
Yes.
Yeah, Nerd Wonder points that out a lot. It's like he cited, okay, we'll have Spider-Man dump Bendis and get raped by whatever they want.
Yeah,
Yep.
and even Scott and Jean, they've been married for over 20 years before Zorn killed her during Grant Morrison's X-Men run.
Mm-hmm.
And you also have Ralph and Sue Dimmy, who remain like one of the best married couples in fiction of all time. And when Dan Didio like put them through an identity crisis, it's like they were done dirty.
Yes. And I'm gonna leave I'm gonna paraphrase from Wolfton from I think he said it in the Discord voice chat one time, and I'm not sure if it's on here on the show. Where a character should just be should have an ending. Because I always question why a series should just be ongoing. Because, paraphrasing Wolf, once the fight is ended, you don't continue the fight, you end it. That's the end of the story, because now you've reached the end.
And the end doesn't necessarily have to mean seeing being dead. I am getting tired of all these heroes. Well, it's time to end this character. Dead. Yes, eventually we're gonna die, but
Wasting
sheesh.
bullets for it.
Aren't you retired?
You're shooting in the air.
Yes. Yes, dude, right, Dom. It ends, but doesn't have to mean the grave.
But, yeah, it really doesn't have to mean death. It means they'll just be moving on to a new life now, a new stage in
Right.
life.
Right.
Yeah, because Peter, Wally, and countless other heroes from the respective universes, like they can move on to being mentors to the next generation, and we seen that in the Marvel Comics 2 line.
I agree, Dom. They should be willing to take up the mantle of mentor once they reach a mature age, and perhaps they have moved on, but they can also mentor the next generation that follows it. And a lot of stories do not do that. That's like, again, they always think the ending should be the grave. They could move on to whatever it is they're doing or family, but it doesn't mean Peter can't mentor others like himself take on that mantle role, take on that role of leadership, take on that role
No,
of
let's
leader.
let's do the multiverse and put Mary Jane in the suit or Gwen Stacy
Yeah,
in the suit.
yeah,
Well, these
Even
well
though that's not the
was one of
stories that we're focusing on in a Spider-Man story.
exactly. I
well
agree. Yeah.
to briefly go back to one of Neil Stark's responses. Well, with
That
Ben
was the
Wright,
dumbest
Ben
Spider-Man name
Riley,
to
like
spin a
he
red.
made his first appearance like in the original Clone Saga during the 70s before he came back for the sequel during the 90s. But he actually became, even though he is a clone of Peter, he became his own like being. Became his own being, and even like during the time when both Ben and Peter thought that Ben was the real Peter and Peter was the clone. So like he was he was he was like Marvel's Wally. He was Marvel's Wally, but again, like he didn't copy everything that Peter went through. Like he got his own supporting characters as well, and was able to develop his own rogues gallery. And while at first like Peter wasn't comfortable about Ben, but eventually he got over it, and the two of them like became close as brothers. But then eventually when Marvel decided to bring him back through the clone conspiracy, they really did him dirty.
Favorite dinosaur.
Final, do you see Draco's comment to you?
Yeah, I see it. Like,
Oh, okay.
on what detail exactly House of M did to break the Marvel Universe, all I know is that it led to the mutant demolition.
Decimation.
Decimation. Everything in Marvel, and I mean everything, because of Scarlet Witch now has reality warping powers like Doctor Strange instead of her powers being just big bad luck.
Or good luck, because her powers are tied to the manipulation of probabilities.
Exactly.
There is far too many women with good and bad luck powers in the
Oh
Marvel
yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
so far, are you sure? Like, we're receiving an overabundance of women with good and or bad luck
Black
powers?
Cat,
Because so far,
Domino.
Domino's like her probability manipulation capabilities are tied to good luck, and you also have Longshot.
Long Shot. I mean, it's fine and all, but does everybody need to have that?
No, not
Right. Yeah.
everybody. Everybody,
Not
So
everybody.
you're gonna tell me Psylocke has
only a
it?
select few. Nah, but it's a good joke. But still, like not everyone like should have like
Next thing,
luck
Captain
based or
Marvel's gonna have it.
probability manipulation powers that can only belong to a select few.
Exactly. It's too the powers of each character is distinctive to that character. So you don't have to give everybody the same powers. The only one that I think of in my mind that may pick it up for a day would be Rogue, since she absorbs the mutant powers. So maybe for a short period of time she may have someone else's ability. But you know, it should not be everybody
Okay, you
should
got me
have
on
the
a
same
rant
ability.
now.
Oh Lord, what did I say?
See, where they went
Rogue.
with Rogue,
Okay.
like up until this point, was the fact that she didn't just absorb the powers; she kept them. But with mental training, she can remanifest those powers. She, like a lot of people tend to not know how OP Rogue really is. To the point where she don't really need to
forgot that she's OP.
that too. But like they tend to forget how OP she really is. Like she can manifest the powers that she absorbed. Like if
Yes.
like Miss Marvel power, she can bring like anybody thinks she lost that forever. No, she can she can bring that back if she with a thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
well,
the bigger
I
the
don't even know what
power,
they
the
doing with
bigger the
Shazam.
weaknesses.
What you say, Humble?
No, I was just remembering the bigger the power, the bigger the weaknesses, because Rogue also ends up inheriting their weaknesses too.
Mhm.
Yeah. That is also true. Just like Parasite from DC. And maybe a Maisel. I'm not sure if Maisel has the weaknesses too. I mean, there was that one Justice League episode. I don't know about comic book Amazo though.
No. In the comics, when he does mimic the powers of other superpowered beings, he also inherits their weaknesses as well. So it's
Okay.
not just limited to how he's portrayed in the animated series.
And Batman. Oh wait, Batman didn't have Kryptonite on hand and under the Red Hood. So that's where people who always chalk up to prep time when it comes to Batman, where that shit just literally just kills their argument right there. Like, when is he always prepping? Because you assume that he's like overly prepared. Like, every day I'm gonna prep for this guy. The next day I'm gonna prep for this guy. Like, it's like the thing he's marking off any calendar for which villain he's going to be facing or which superhero that goes rogue. It's like, prep time my ass. When is he ever prep timing? It's like the way how they say it, the way how they use it as an argument killer, it's fucking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yes.
you're just assuming that Batman is omni-prepared for every damn thing, when you motherfuckers are not even prepared for your fucking schoolwork.
Batman has to kind of have a set of tools
Most
to
of us
try
ain't
and
prepared
fight any enemy.
go to the job or interview. Talking some prep time. When are you prepping? You acting as if he's a fucking soldier prepping for war every damn day.
Also, Neil Star, yes, and Anna Marie, she did mimic Wonder Man's like powers during their stint with the Uncanny Avengers after Avengers versus X-Men.
That's just like, when every time they talk like he tries Superman with prep time, like, bitch, Superman will break through his fucking bat cave and cave his ass in. The fuck you talking about prep time? That's all Superman needs to do is freaking X-ray vision, see that motherfucker right in there and cause a fucking cave in that motherfucker. There goes your prep time, motherfucker. It's like, ain't no way in hell he's prepping to fight Superman every damn day. It's like, for him to have prep time, he would have forewarned knowledge that some events happening. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, y'all giving Batman way too much credit. He's still human. Like, and then that's the reason why they like. That's their argument for why they like Batman over Superman, because he's human.
Yeah, that's what I hear all the time.
Yes,
Well, shit,
I hear
everybody can do so
every
much.
every time these cats like make such arguments, like they forget that Clark, he's just as human as Bruce, even though
Yes.
he's a human alien.
Yeah, they say it all. See, they don't understand the motivation for Bruce Wayne. No, you cannot be Batman. They say, "Well, he's the most human. I can be like him. That's the one that is the most is light." No, you can't. You can't take a beating every night after night going out fighting. You're not going to be as wealthy, rich as he is. You forget the reason why he's there. He is created to inspire you, not for you to be exactly like him. You don't have to be exactly like him just because he's not exact. He doesn't.
You know how the justice system works.
Not to mention, and not to mention, to say he's the most human of the Justice League. Again, Clark is the most human of the bunch, even though he's not.
That's
no,
always
he
a consistent
wasn't
theme
born
with
from
many of
Earth.
DC's heroes, is their humanity.
Yes.
But that's the thing about the contingency plans. He had those set up. He's not gonna pull them out of his fucking pocket at any given notice.
And those.
It's one thing to have that, but when are you going to use it? When do you know when you're going to use it?
Because he
When
made
the plot calls for it.
when Bruce made the contingency plans for the Tower of Babel storyline and Grant Morrison's Justice League run, he made them as an absolute last resort, just in case any of the members of Justice League goes rogue. However, he never intended to use them. However, when Rachel Gould like uncovered these plans like he used them, and not Bruce.
I have a question about that contingency plan, though. But did that mean that Bruce did not trust the Justice League?
No, he did.
Was it? But okay.
I always rationalize it as there is a trust.
But
it's
go
more,
ahead.
It's more of a he trusts. That's the thing when he said at the end of Doom, where he says that like all those contingency plans, which you never made one for. He said, "Yes, I have." It's called the Justice League. Now put that into your mind of what he meant by that. It's not like, think about it like this. Here's how I interpret what he said about that. The contingency plan against him was the Justice League. He's banking on the fact that if he ever went down that path, if he ever went rogue, if he ever went down a dark path, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He would not be able to execute those contingency plans all at once. Did you hear me?
Yes, I'm listening to you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He had a contingency plan for every single one of them, but how was he going to execute them all at once? All they have to do is rush them all at once.
Yes, that's true.
That's why he said it's the Justice League.
Yes. Okay, I get what you're saying.
Because
I get what you're saying.
he didn't say one member of the Justice League. He did not say that. He said it's the Justice League. As in, he's talking about the whole group coming after him. Is he ever going to plan to attack all of them at once? I don't think so. And remember, they say they like him because he's the most human. If nothing else, if they came to apprehend him, he would surrender. Because even if he does have those contingency plans, he's not like the Justice League will fight through some of those contingency plans. And you have to study what the
And yet people say the same thing about the Joker. Yeah, people say the same thing about the Joker, where, yeah, he can come in any situation because he's a mastermind. But yet, even then, because, well, yeah, the Joker is very much of a madman. But,
I get... Oh, go ahead, Final.
Oh, yeah. You were saying something, Leia?
I was going to, well, if I do get what you're saying, but when it came to that storyline, I was always a mixed emotion because it told me he did not trust them because they had these powers, and that he felt that being superior as they are with the powers, they may want to go rogue, or they may want to, I guess, take a villainous turn with it, and he would have to have something to bring them back down. But my mind was always thinking, well, what about himself?
Yes.
Or was it just the fact that they just had these powers and he was human?
Really, it's more so just like, just like prep time, when really the actual word you're actually saying is plot armor, because your favoritism over Batman. And they say the same thing with the Joker. How did the Joker get all the situation? Plot. He knows every situation. How? Plot. And yet they masquerade the fact that he's a madman. Well, yes, the Joker definitely is a madman, and when any situation would come at it's the same argument that they say with. It's the same argument that you think Batman would just have any situation at a moment's notice, that he's always 10 steps ahead of everyone. Well, yes, the Joker would be 10.
They're trying to make him out to be omniprepared.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they say the same thing with the Joker.
That's too much credit given to Batman that needs to. He has limitations.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why DC Batman has been my favorite, because he has limitations.
Yeah, and while Grant Morrison's Batman run, like, objectively is not the worst. Whereas like him making Bruce like being Omni prepared.
Oh,
Prepared, like
you
didn't really age.
motherfucker.
It didn't really age well either because it shows that
This
yeah he might
bitch.
have captured like who Bruce is as a character and why he does what he does. He fundamentally misunderstands things like the prep time Bruce will make on himself because like you said he has limitations.
Yes, and for me, the trait I like most about Bruce is the fact, first and foremost, people forget detective first and foremost. My favorite is always him trying to piece together the crime
Because
as to
everybody
who did the
knows
crime
his main
and
weakness is
why.
women.
For you, but they forget that. They forget he's a detective. I always felt he was a detective first. And then he has the means to find out who the criminal is and then going it if the law cannot.
Yes.
He's helping them in a way, and that's how he's able to figure things out. So that's what I've always liked. That's a trait they don't emphasize enough, is the fact that he is a detective, and like you said, limitations. He does have to take the time to try to piece the mystery together. Because that's the way I always thought Batman the Animated Series was like, it's like a big mystery each week that had to be solved by him.
He did good, guys, but motherfucker still lost the round.
Are you playing a game? I have to tell. Okay, that seems why. Okay.
Leia, this is what we're talking about. Like him and Eloise are in the zone whenever they get into their games.
These
Yes.
are acknowledge you guys. Eloise is in her own world.
It is kind of entertaining when some of the dialogue appears in mid-conversation.
Yes, we'll be in a conversation and Wolf will express how he feels, and then I have to turn to the group and explain, oh, he's just playing a game, everybody. He's really not cursing at Final or Dom. He's just playing a game.
I mean, Rhodes did it. And that was entertaining.
I better get to bed.
We're up
Yeah.
in it anyway, so thank everybody for being here. You dickless motherfuckers didn't even ask no spicy questions.
Yeah, that's what Wolf was waiting on.
No personal questions, none of that shit.
Spicy?
And well, look, before we head out, I do want to address William briefly that yes, Tower of Babel did happen before Identity Crisis.
Still need to read Tower of Babel. All because of Justice League Doom.
Well, once you do eventually read Tower of Babel, read the rest of Grant Morrison's Justice League run. Because again, like he may have earned his stripes, however, like he is not.
What you hired here for, motherfucker? Identify yourself, Negro.
Much like other artists in the literature side, he is not exempt for critique.
Oh no.
Neo, really?
Oh, Neo Star.
Who has the best?
Neo, don't be a prude.
There's your answer, Neo. There's your answer, Neo. I think Wolf just answered your question.
Well, Wolf, you said spicy. Now you got what you deserve.
Yeah, you got Neo gave you one. Neo gave you one. There's your and Neo, I think he answered it for you. Everybody remembers that shot from that famous shot from the X-Men, and it's everyone does that pose now of Rogue from the X-Men. Neo Star, you're getting your answer. I'm gonna let Wolf handle that one.
The Yamcha pose.
I didn't think too much of that scene at all until somebody started making a meme out of it.
Yes, young men everywhere always say they paused on that moment because
I didn't. I was more afraid of Apocalypse than that ass. The ass did not distract me from how scary Apocalypse was. So I pause my.
In other
ass.
words, don't. In other words, don't be easily distracted by the sexy.
Right. When there's something coming there to smash it. Y'all know why I said motherfuckers.
Yes. Neo, Neo Star got you started. I hope you were pleased with your answer, Neo, because he gave you one.
10 kills out of 12 deaths. Okay, that's not bad. I did decent with the Zazabi mobile suit.
Should we be wrapping up now?
Yes.
Yes,
I
I
thank
think
everybody for
you
being
went.
here. Those 5 of you and those 9 motherfuckers keep popping in and out. Thank you, Eloise, the viewer, for being here with us for a time and contributing to our conversations. And thank you everybody for the birthday wishes on YouTube and on here, of course. Thank you guys for that. I'd like to thank my compadres, the humblest of writers, Humble Marty.
Thank you for having me. This is Humble Marty. Here I am, just signing off.
Nice. Well, you always got animals. You might as well do a in case.
Unless you'd really like to do the deadpan voice that I have right here.
Arr.
Well, at least,
Uh,
Uncle Marty. You always have every opportunity to unleash your inner Norm Macdonald.
Like, she goes from lion to suddenly to now a shark. I forgot which other animals that she went through. She must be like freaking Beast Boy now. She just keeps shapeshifting into different animals.
Be our resident Beast Girl. Wait, she's Beast Stars. Oh shit, we got Haru in the chat. Keep your pants on, guys.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Now 4 of y'all start joining in after we start wrapping up. Where y'all motherfuckers keep coming in at?
What, 40?
4.
4. Oh.
You two, man, StreamYard, don't be fucking with me with that shit. It was 2, now it was 4. What the hell? Look, y'all better spread the word about us. We talk shit all damn day. If y'all want for good background noise lab, look us up. We be a rowdy bunch, but we do our part. That's our slogan. And I'm gonna make a humble and honorary member of our group now.
Hello.
Congratulations, you're officially a UN Spacey.
Neat.
Underneath us is our token Smurfette principal, the Lady of Valor plus size.
Good evening, everyone. This is Leia Plus Size, your lovely Lady of Valor. Thank you all for coming to Wolf's Birthday stream. And for those of you who did give us questions, I'm sure he very much appreciates this. Please leave comments in below and questions or any topics you want us to cover. If you want to do another session of asking us questions, see, you need to. I can't. You don't do that. I'm sorry. I'm weakness to full body muscle, but I will continue. Leave the questions below. I'm sure Wolf will very much appreciate it. He encourages you to do so. But until again, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and holiday. This is a holiday weekend, so if you're going to have some time for holiday, just be careful. Enjoy yourself, but be careful. See you next time. You did that on purpose to fluster me. You're not supposed to. I'm sorry. I'm weak to muscles. I am sorry. I do.
Hey,
I do.
Remember to close your eyes. Whenever you're doing.
Or again, ignore the fan service. Don't be easily distracted by the sexy.
Yes, exactly.
Look, you see Wolf like exposing me, Final, and the other male members of Cheesecake, but you don't see us being easily flustered.
Right. Because just remember, whenever we get to the outro, just remember this, Leia. When we get to the outro, remember to close your eyes.
Okay, I'm going to take everybody's
Unfortunately,
advice when I
she's
get to the
dyslexic,
intro and
so
the
it's
ending.
hard for her to do that.
At least he didn't add voice clips.
We don't have a lot. Sorry, we don't have a lot of sexiness anymore because those dumb feminists done took hotness away from us. So we don't have as much. So I relish it in as much as I can because we need more of it back. And I mean masculine sexiness,
well, so
not
far,
no girly.
And
Sex.
Wolf takes that to an advantage. He takes
Well,
that
so
to an
far-
advantage for you. To take advantage of you.
well, so
You're
far,
right, Final.
well, so far,
Hey.
like it's gradual. Well, so far, the sexy is gradually making a comeback as people are realizing that by removing it, is doing more harm than good to everybody in the long run.
Amen to that, Dom. Did we all?
Warrior
Did
of
you all?
Light, Offensive Fan 12.
Well, that about does it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, click like and subscribe and share with your family and friends. And make sure you ring that notification bell. That way you get notified of our latest videos. Go subscribe to Wolf10 Media if you haven't already. Go subscribe to me if you haven't already. And be sure you stay tuned for tomorrow on my channel, as I'll be discussing with Wolf about some interesting theories about the lore and story about Final Fantasy VII, just to talk about Final Fantasy VII, and as well as the series surrounding it. And also on June 16th on my channel will be episode 7 of Comic Studies for Superman for All Seasons, as celebration for Superman's 85th anniversary this year. And once again, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Final Fantasy Fan 12 signing off. And Wolf, happy birthday to you, and may the light forever shine upon us.
The Hound of the South, Dominic Powell.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us in tonight's live stream. If there are any questions or topics that you would like us to discuss in the future, make sure you put them down in the comment section down below, and make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to Wolf10 Media's channel. This is the Hound of the South, Dominic Powell, signing off. And remember to keep on fighting, and keeping hope, idealism, and optimism alive in the world.
Your welcome at Wolf 10 remind you guys that next week on Tuesday we'll be concluding the next volume of Akira, which is Akira Volume 5. So
Woo!
be prepared for that. Hopefully our resident guest star, Janelle, will be coming to help us along the journey as we're reaching the conclusion. And my goodness, that conclusion is going to be amazing next month.
Indeed.
We're in the home stretch, folks, so be ready.
Maybe a Thursday stream on the horizon as well. We might be talking about an anime spotlight, which is the Tekken motion picture anime. To get that out of the way. That same Thursday, after the Akira stream, we'll talk about an animation that I've never seen myself, Robot Carnival. So I'll be linking every one of you guys the video so you guys can watch it, and we'll be setting up shop to talk about that. Humble, if you want to, sounds like you're interested. I will link it to you too as well. I'm unfamiliar with this one. It's free on YouTube, so look up Robot Carnival. This is unknown to me, so we'll talk about this. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure of the quality of the animation either. I just know Retro Crush has it on their channel as well.
Or
Yeah,
you can't critique you can't give a proper critique on the art either, because like you said, this is your first time watching it.
Exactly. We will also be, in fact, we'll do a first time movie review that most of you guys probably never seen before. A man against nature type of movie that was purportedly supposed to be the Jaws killer of its time. Orca the Killer Whale.
I think I've seen that movie. I just don't remember it. too much, but I think I've seen it.
Attack
It
of the
sounds
Murder
familiar.
Oreos.
Holy shit!
I get most of these descriptions from Casual Geographic. They're very
Casual?
fun. Yes, the YouTuber is called Casual Geographic.
I mean, the description
This
is
is
not
why-
off.
This is why we need to always stock up our body bags so we can kidnap her.
Hey, come on, we're not kidnappers, Wolf.
Yes, we are. It's in our job description. You signed up for this.
No, we are not kidnappers.
We're Bible chasers. It's
No.
part of our occupation.
Occupation?
no,
You
no,
guys
it's
sound like
not.
a bunch of bandits.
Yeah,
No, it's
I
not.
don't want to
If you try-
kidnap anybody.
If you try to turn us, no, we're not, Wolf. And if you try to turn us into bandits, then I will smack you upside the head for suggesting such a dumb idea.
I don't know, Wolf. I take dumb seriously on that one. Yes.
But we are the SWAT cats of the Professor Geek group.
Oh my god.
Keep
Oh,
in mind. Keep in mind, we may be SWAT, we may be rebels like the SWAT cats, but we're not. No, but we're not like their villains.
No shit. We're not made of
Not-
metal.
Like, we ain't Orange Gravello. Say that.
Wow. But yeah, we'll be talking about Robot Carnival, and later down the road, we'll be talking about the Appleseed movie, the first movie that is, and in the future, we'll be talking about its sequel. And of course, later, don't worry, we got something for you too. We got the original X-Men animated series on the horizon, starting with the first season. Still don't know what we're gonna be doing. When are we gonna be doing? I'm sorry. When are we gonna do that? I don't know yet. I haven't decided yet. But come July, we're gonna do something patriotic. We're finally gonna be talking about Last Exile.
Last Exile. Well, that doesn't come to my mind for patriotism, but I will give it a shot.
Well. I mean, like 4th of July is coming up soon.
Yes.
Soon, everyone, especially some people in this current generation, like they need to remember like what patriotism is, and actually be proud of being an American.
Yes.
The only reason I bring it up as patriotic because it obviously talks about soldiers. It concerns the military a lot.
I am not familiar with that one. I have to be honest.
Well, it'll be in our wheelhouse soon.
Okay.
Then come fall, we'll be talking about Habane Renmei. It concerns mortality and angel kids.
Nice.
Something that to get us away from the action-oriented anime more and more into introspective talks. Something that's more of Leia speed in a way. I think we've been exposing her too early, too fast with the action anime. So let's go with something more down to earth.
Well, I mean, one of our mission statements is to make a weeb out of her. So to really get her into Eastern storytelling. Hey, look,
That's why we need the body sacks
We don't need
No,
bodies.
we do not need the body sacks.
and the chair.
No,
Wolf,
I hope not.
chair.
Wolf, I will smack you back of the head for suggesting a stupid idea.
This is why I call these guys, they're a bunch of bandits.
We are not bandits.
With a few exceptions.
Nobody.
Look, all I know is the
nobody
Professor
in this-
Geek will need people like us to make the hard decisions.
Oh, God.
Nobody
He knows he
in this-
will.
Nobody
You're just
in
hardly
this
ever
group is
around.
gonna be- hey, nobody in this group are gonna turn into bandits while I'm around.
Yes, we need Dom to calm the wolf at times.
To really describe
Yes.
us, we're the Dinobots of the Professor Geek group. Wrong placement, buddy. Wrong placement. I ain't crushing that threshold. I'm gonna spray your motherfucking ass. Sit your ass still so I can spray you.
No, he's such his game. Dom. Yes, Dom, we see now. You
Anyway.
must be like Batman. You have to have a backup plan for Wolf so he doesn't go too far off the deep end.
Well, I'm the
It's
resident
called
boy.
the UN Spacey.
I'm the resident straight man and boy scout of this bunch.
Yes.
This team is led by Wolverine. Yeah, right.
Look,
Cyclops
if you're gonna be Wolverine in this group, then I might as well be your Cyclops.
Yes, I would say, well,
I'll
Dom is
has always
Cyclops.
been my favorite X-Men. I'll break anybody's legs for ever dissing Cyclops. I'll break Marvel's leg in a heartbeat for what they did to Cyclops and Wolverine.
Oh yeah, they really they really did him dirty. And not just him, but also the other members of the X-Men, the
Another topic for
Splinter
another
teams,
time.
as well as the other
let
heroes.
this close
But
out.
we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later, and also we can, even in the future, we can discuss ideas on how we can restore them like a la DC Rebirth.
This has been your Wolf Commander Wolf 10. Remind you guys, you are the UN Spacey. Welcome to Wolf Fleet.
I do what I want. And you know what? I want to do this. Totino's messing with the pizza rolls. They got me messing with the pizza rolls. It's such a blessing to eat pizza rolls. Come on and watch me eat some pizza rolls, man. You know you got them in the box, hibernating. You know you wanna see them rocks herniating. They're way too hot, but man, they smell just like a pizza dove. You hurt your mouth, you do not care because you numb with love. When I get the first one down, my skin it starts to tingle. My mind ignites right when my tongue and pizza intermingle. The world goes black, I don't care about the world around me. In my belly they stack, I can't turn back, gotta get them rolls inside me. Totino's